And we are rolling.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Creative Businessmen. Today we have JD Etheridge on the show with us. He's an up-and-coming, one of the best comedians in North Carolina.
Oh, chill out now. Come on, relax.
You are.
Everybody, ain't nobody done nothing about 6 months.
Well, before
it's up
COVID,
in the air right now, man.
He was one of the best comedians in the States.
In Greensboro.
Oh, come on. So, JD, you want to say hello and just start telling everyone about yourself?
Shit, what camera? There's so many cameras.
I'll just talk to us.
Just talk to y'all? Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, I was like, don't talk to the people.
You can talk to the people. I think it's that one. If you want to look deep into their soul.
No, man, I ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to make nobody fall in love. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, been doing comedy. Well, was doing comedy about 7 years. Just been around the Idiot Box, Good Nights. I mean, any comedy club you could pretty much think of in North Carolina. Yeah, I probably stepped in at some point. But that's it, just grinding. I mean, this is all pre-COVID, so it sounds like I'm talking about like a different era type shit. But I mean, that's what it was. That's what it was. What I'm doing now, I'm working outside a lot, doing lots of manual labor, cutting down trees, fixing roofs, stuff like that.
Wow.
Just being a handyman. But yeah, that's what's going on now currently.
Having a friend that's an actor, he's doing a lot of that too.
Yeah, man.
Doing a lot of construction work.
A lot of people, I thought about it when it happened. Comedians, strippers, anybody that relied, wait staff, anybody that relied on people to make money, we just done. And there's no real... Yeah. You can get unemployment, but it don't match up to what the money was. It was all based on people and your human interaction. And the government's like, okay, you made this an hour. If you made that an hour, comedians don't make nothing an hour. We just get the money after we done.
Yeah, you get paid for shows.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like for a lot of people, man, it was just over. Just like a week?
Yeah.
Took about a week.
It looks like they'll start doing some shows in a few months, maybe.
Yeah, they're doing shows, but you gotta think who's gonna feel safe enough to really go out and enjoy themselves like that. Like the reason, if you're at a comedy show when they were letting things happen, you gotta think to yourself at some point, the only reason, the reason we're here now like this is because of some crazy virus in the world. Like you can't, in comedians, you can bring it up. Yeah. But it's probably gonna fuck the room up.
They're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, or you could not bring it up, and everybody's like, yo, he being fake as fuck right now. Like something's definitely going on, and you just not talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's weird either way.
Yeah.
I was doing some coronavirus jokes before the shit happened. That was funny as fuck.
When it didn't seem like it was a real thing.
Yeah, I promise you, man. I thought coronavirus was gonna be 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I thought coronavirus was gonna be 2 weeks. Everybody stay inside. Yeah, take some down. What's that? Pre-cold medicine, the Zicam. Whatever.
Yeah,
that.
I always take that stuff too.
Take some Zicam. Drink some Robitussin. I don't know what it is. You just this is
vitamin C.
Don't breathe as fast. You know what I'm saying? Take slow breaths. And then we'll be all right.
I got some germ eggs over there. We can start.
Yeah, man. Do it. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Yeah. But we just did not listen, man. We did not give a single fuck.
Well, I think I've mentioned it before. I won't say who it is, but a friend of mine, his wife's a professor, and she spoke with some of her colleagues in the biology department at the university she works at, and they said that what they're finding in the studies is that the antibodies only stay in your system for 3 to 4 months. So when we do have a vaccine, if they can create a vaccine, which I think they will, it'll be a seasonal vaccine like the flu vaccine. So it's never going to go away. But my hope is that it'll be like the other coronaviruses. Like the swine flu and all that stuff. They still exist, but we don't hear about it because it's such a small number of people infected by it.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll just spread through the society and kind of just be a smaller thing because we're aware of it. And also the treatments. I know the treatments are getting better now for it. Yeah. So people are in the hospital for a shorter amount of time. So I really believe that by the end of this year or early next year, and especially once they have a vaccine for it, it won't be that big of a deal, and things will be back to normal.
I hope, man. Listen, I hope so. I just don't want to jinx nothing.
I agree.
That's my whole thing. I don't want to jinx nothing.
I got to tell you about the strippers, though. I got to tell you.
What's up?
Because we might own some businesses or consult for some businesses that involve strip clubs, so I might have some firsthand information. But I got to tell you, why aren't So the strippers waited a long time. They didn't get closed, and some of them stayed open. They waited a long time.
Are you serious?
Have you heard any strippers dying yet? Not a one. They got some kind of immunity. I'm telling you, they live a crazy life, and they're immune to it.
Well, you know what's really crazy is the prisons.
Yeah, that's another one.
The prison
Yeah,
population's got completely like 99% infected, and nobody had symptoms, which was weird.
It doesn't get you.
How about maybe it's just about tough people.
Tough people,
well,
man.
See, I was like, yo, this is the worst time. This ain't funny. This is the worst time to be homeless. It's bad any other time. It's bad any other time.
Oh, I agree.
But right now,
well,
it's a pandemic, and you still ask for money. I'm like, bro, like, I mean,
everybody's broke.
I probably had it. It wasn't gonna give you any before, but now I ain't got it, and I definitely can't give it to you.
And I damn sure can't hand it to you.
But you know, like the studies are showing that it doesn't spread outdoors very easily. So maybe it's a good time to be homeless.
They safe-ish. They safe-ish.
I don't know.
Yeah,
unless you safe-ish.
I'd say if you're homeless, the coronavirus is the least of your concerns.
Yeah, it's a new problem for sure, but it's not your biggest problem.
Right? Yeah.
You like, I definitely would want to worry about this in the house.
Listen, on
I haven't washed my hands in a month.
This
I'm on Wendover.
I have other issues.
The guy's pissing at the corner at the stoplight. He's not worried about coronavirus.
I just
at
shit
that
my
moment,
pants.
He's good.
He's like, I need some new pants, man. I need some new pants. I need a bathroom. I need something. Like, wait, what? Like, they heard about coronavirus. Like, whatever.
No, I've been shitting these pants for 3 months.
Yeah, man. Pants are definitely an issue.
And I haven't washed them.
But I seen a dude the other day. It was crazy. He had his sign out upside down.
Oh yeah,
upside down.
All
it said was "help me." He had that shit upside down. I was like, bro, you going through?
You can give that guy some money.
Yeah. You could, but he looked like he was an old white guy that was frowning at all the people that were brown. I'm like, bro, do you need help or not? Like, what? You can't be choosing. You out ask for money. Help me sign upside down.
Help me unless you're black.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? What's this new level of homelessness? Like, you can be racist and homeless at the same time. I ain't know that was possible. I thought once you became homeless, everything else flooded out. Like, I'm just homeless. I couldn't. Retain
I thought homelessness was a cure for racism. Like
it should be
cure for everything.
You hit rock bottom. You like, man, you know what? Skin color don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It really don't. Houses matter.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah.
Houses will always matter.
Yes.
Yeah. Skin color
Food matters.
Food matters. Houses matter. Bathrooms, but just not skin color.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea, man. Anybody that gets caught as being racist,
make them homeless.
Take
all of it.
That would work though. It's not murder.
Yeah.
I know a couple people that's down for the murder.
Well, now it depends on the racist act. I'm not condoning violence. I say that from my attorney. But if you do some dumb shit, and somebody's defending themselves, violence
is that's a whole different bubble because then you get into like, but
I don't think you should. But there's been some dumb shit out there. I'm like, all right, now look.
Some people, but like, if you just feel hella racist thoughts and you said some racist shit, like, man,
take their house.
We're taking your house for 8 months.
Yeah, be homeless.
It's like a sentence for punishment.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're homeless.
I like it a lot.
And then
first offense, you're homeless for a month.
Yeah. This could be awesome.
You
How about
could do
take
it.
the car, and
the person you were racist against gets to live in your house.
But you've got to be
they want to at your house.
That's hilarious.
You've got to be in a real homeless society. You have to be like sent out to L.A. for a month.
Hold up. You ready for
Skid Row or something?
But I mean.
Oh, you get caught being home. I'm gonna fuck on your bed. I'm gonna be fucking on your bed. Oh yeah.
That would destroy somebody. Like, yo, well, I'm out here on the sidewalk. Somebody's in my bed having sex right now.
Yeah.
Not even like I'm gonna go back home to my clean house. Like, man, they fucking my house up right now.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna come by and see you on the side of the road. Be like, I came on your pillow last night.
That would destroy somebody. Because every day somebody drive by and say that shit. That would destroy somebody.
It's rough.
Yeah. But I'm thinking more like an exile. Like, you're homeless and you in the woods. Like something like. If you can get back to your house,
no, I think the humility of having to hold a sign is the best punishment.
Like kids, you have
to stand at a certain street corner and hold a sign for a month
and say what though,
and then stay in the homeless camp at night.
You know what though? I like
this is help.
What's it?
And you have
public
to hold it upside
humiliation.
down.
Public humiliation. I'm down for that. For certain stuff, that would work.
I've definitely seen it. I've definitely seen it with like kids that's like bad in school, but then everybody's like, that's child abuse.
That didn't work for me.
It happened to you?
Oh, I had to do it. Yeah, I was violent when I was a child, and we that didn't work. Because people be messing with me, and I was 13 on the side of the road, you know.
You got a Game of Thrones face. You got a real violent, like Viking, like a raider type shit.
Listen, 13 years old, the assistant principal, one of our partners, Matt. We both dealt with issues at this school. Anyway, I'm like 13, and he was talking to me. I said, "You're gonna talk to me like a man," and he's like, "You're a child," and I was like, "I'm a fucking grown man. I'm 13."
Yeah.
He's, "I'm gonna call your parents." I was like, "All right." I said, "Get them on the phone." The sign didn't help me. Now, what did help me, Miss Carol. Shout out to Miss Carol. One of our other friends' mom was a teacher. She was a badass. She didn't take no shit. She helped me a lot. Byron Gladden's mom, Cece, she helped me a lot. Strong women that didn't take shit from men.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I didn't have any. Every time I saw some bad kids in school, I'd be like, man, what the fuck is their problem? Why they?
I was bored. I was bored, man.
I wasn't bad in school, but I was mischievous.
I was highly intelligent, but bored. I'd get in trouble.
I promise you, there was only 2 white kids in my school the entire, like from kindergarten through 6th grade. Only ever saw 2 white kids in my school.
Where you go to school at?
Morven. The beginning was Morven Elementary.
What state?
It's here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Morven. It's a super small town.
Is that Greensboro? Where's that at?
Oh, it's an hour. It's like right by South Carolina. It's right.
Oh, okay.
Anson County. That's.
I
Like
know
county.
exactly where you at. Yeah.
That's why I started. 2 white kids like the whole time. Had a couple white teachers. No male teachers. The only male figure in the school was the principal.
Wow.
That's legit it. And like 1 cafeteria guy.
It's not far from Columbus County, Whiteville. Is it down? It's down more that way, or
like
no?
near Fayetteville?
Hey, Rockingham.
Rockingham. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Rockingham.
Yeah.
Sherraw.
Sherraw.
That's right in that area.
Okay, I got you. Like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, the super. I was raised in the woods, man. Like it was nothing. It was straight up nothing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, I don't know. My school was. I don't want to blame my school because my teachers did all they could, but it was just not the best area. Not even just
What's a really poor
behavior
area?
wise. Yeah, it's just like money
Very
wise, we
impoverished.
can't afford to do a lot of stuff. Like we had to bear every school guy has to have it's a minimum of like 6 sports, like 2 for each season. That's all we had. Every time we had the minimum of anything to get it started, we had the bare minimum. We didn't have anything else. Wow. The biggest thing that happened in my school was they opened a Walmart like my senior year in high school.
Wow.
And that was the biggest thing that happened for the town in ages. And it just recently got shut down because they were getting too much product stolen out of the store.
What?
If you know businesses, they have like a certain amount of a certain budget just for all right, people going to steal
4%.
You know what I'm saying?
Average, yeah.
We crushed that. We crushed that. We crushed that. A Walmart supercenter, everything shut down. They're like, they stealing too much.
Yeah,
they stealing too much out here. It's just, it's a rough area.
Yeah,
it's just, but I mean, it's like not like super violent and nothing like that. It's just like people just
there's
desperate.
no opportunity there.
They are just simply desperate. Something opens and then they like, we're hiring. Everybody applies. It's fully staffed in like a day or whatever.
Yeah.
But then everybody else that didn't get the job was like, well, I guess I'm gonna rob y'all now because you didn't hire me.
Yeah.
Like my town got a Dollar General. It was open for like, I promise you, 10 days before it got robbed.
Wow.
Yeah. 10 days before it got robbed. And then they found the dudes like a block away. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not like it's not like a criminal mastermind area or a super violent area. It's just people have no money.
It's people surviving.
And they'll do whatever it takes to get it. And they're not even thinking that hard. Like, I'm going to go get the money. I'm going to come back home. Yeah. And ththey just...
That's what we just talked about in our last podcast about raising the floor. We need to have a high enough floor in this country where you don't have poverty.
Yeah, man.
You know,
the fact that we even we created a poverty class is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
the fact that you can't even if you try your hardest, you can probably most likely just get to lower middle. Like you can't explore the whole spectrum.
Well, you could get beyond that, but most people can't because you have a talent.
True.
And but there's very few people that have a talent like that.
I would say I could take anybody anybody that's willing. They got to be mentally there. So like if they're
fairly intelligent,
if they're willing to go through the process, I can take anybody and take them through all the levels. They got to be willing to do it.
Okay, I mean, I can't think of anybody that wouldn't be willing to do it.
Now the problem
you'd be surprised.
becomes It takes a long time. It's delayed gratification. It's uncomfortable. But I think I can take anybody through it, but I can only help so many people at one time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can take anybody through it because I don't think everybody's willing to do it. I think you can take the willing
anybody that's
people
willing
through
to
it.
do those steps. Like
Yeah.
one of the things on my post, I'll say, I wish the best that life has to offer for all of you that are willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get there, right?
Yeah.
The problem, though, in your area is there's not also one of the problems is there's not enough people that are helping lift people up,
Yeah.
right? And I think, like, as you become a leader and as you progress and you get successful, you can help bring other people up that are willing to sacrifice. But there's a lot of things that you do that other people aren't willing to do.
Well,
I mean, I'm thinking just in terms of like stand-up comedy, like what you just said,
Yeah.
like delayed gratification.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. All that. I mean, but
Well, right now, what are you doing though? You're out working. You're out of
Yeah.
comedy. You're working, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are out of work, and they're out of work. They're not trying to. Oh, we can go do this. They're not showing up. They don't
Yeah.
care. No, why would I do that? I'll sit at home and get paid. It's just a different.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a mentality change, and you can start to change some of those things. But I think the system has got to be overhauled. The floor, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
That poverty level you're talking about.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely. We were talking about this last week. Makes no sense.
the thing's crazy. Like my granddad, he was like, well, I think he was. I don't want to lie, but he was like one of or the first like black police chief in his district in D.C.
Okay.
So that was his career start, like
That's
being
cool.
police officer and everything. It was like military, then police, and then he got into real estate by like flipping refrigerators until he had enough money to buy a
Awesome.
trailer.
Awesome.
Then that trailer turned to another
true
trailer.
entrepreneur.
And then,
He's a
like,
hustler. I like it.
he
Yeah.
really started from nothing,
Yeah.
like nothing. He said my first car would only go to like 50 miles an hour. Like I could. He said it was he started from nothing. So now he's a multimillionaire or whatever.
And he said that's your grandfather.
My granddad,
Yeah.
but he still work every day like he poor. Like he worked like he's poor,
That's
man.
good.
Like and even to the point where it's just confusing. We were like, yo, you could easily not even have somebody else do this. Just buy something to do it better with.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, nah, too much money. Got it. But that's how he got it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't knock it.
Yeah.
I don't knock it, but at the same time, like,
That's awesome to hear.
I don't know. I was wish he had like kept up to date with technology a little bit. Because I'm like, we could have been doing a lot more stuff a lot quicker, a lot easier.
Yeah.
Less cuts on my arms, less bruises, like shit like that.
Yeah.
But he just got that mentality of like, no matter what happens, no matter what's going on, he's 80, he's like 84, 85. And he'll just wake up, go outside with a hammer and just start looking for something to do. Like
Yeah.
he got to be
That's
outside.
why he's still alive.
Yeah.
That keeps you alive.
I
Keeps
tell
you
you, when
healthy.
coronavirus happened, the person I was the most scared for was him. Because I'm like, he's not gonna stay inside.
Yeah.
We just recently, like I say about a couple months ago, got him to wear a mask. But he was just like, bro, you can't. I didn't say bruh, but I was like,
87
granddad,
years
you can't be going outside like that, man. You gotta stay at home with grandma and watch some TV. Like you've got to relax.
That'd kill him.
He's miserable when he's inside. He is. You can watch him just be angry.
Listen,
He's
I know-
like, there's something I gotta do.
I know
Yeah.
a bunch of old people this sounds bad, me saying a bunch of old people, but I know a bunch of old people like, we didn't live through so much, we ain't wearing that mask.
Oh, bro, I'll go out and I got my mask on. I see old people rampant with no mask
Yeah,
on. I'm
yeah.
like, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah, that's
I
me
could get
too.
it. I could get it and walk
I'm
it
not
off.
too worried about getting it. I'm worried about spraying it to them.
I got a
Yeah,
neighbor,
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
I got a neighbor that's 83, and I say this in some of the previous podcasts, and this is what they said to me. They're like, I already outlived the average life expectancy. I'm not putting that mask on. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. When you can say shit like that, what do you say back? Like, I'm already older than what they say I should be anyway.
Yeah,
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. But I tell you, they're out. They get out every morning. They walk in the morning. They walk at night. But I ain't seen them with a mask on yet.
Yeah, man, it's crazy out here.
Like, and you know, you'd think if you're 83 and you're high risk, I'd think you'd have a mask on everywhere you went. But they ain't
At the
got
same
one.
time, when you 83, you like, man, I'm not trying to get more of you. Like, I'm 83, all my friends dead, all my TV shows I like done got
They're
canceled.
gone.
Like, what am I hanging out for? My grandkids don't visit. Like, what am I hanging out for?
Right.
Come on now, ain't wearing no mask.
To me, it's like the smoker's been smoking for 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know smoking can kill them, but they don't care. They keep smoking. And hey, do your thing, man.
Like, yeah, they like, oh, you didn't think I didn't read the little thing on the box
Yeah.
all these years? You think I don't know it could happen?
Right.
Have you heard it now?
Well, just hear themselves cough.
Yeah.
I mean, they know.
Yeah, you think I heard my own cough before? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Have you heard him saying that people that smoke cigarettes, the nicotine, they're naturally more, I don't know if it's a rumor or not, they're more protected against COVID?
Oh, what?
Have you heard that yet? Did you hear about that?
No, but I know that smokers are more, they're actually more susceptible to die from COVID because their lungs are damaged.
There's a rumor going around that nicotine destroys COVID.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord.
That's definitely from Philip Morris or somebody.
Them conspiracy theories is crazy, bro. I seen the 4G.
Oh, yeah,
5G.
5G. See, I'm so old. I don't know how many G's they got.
There's too many G's out there.
Too many G's.
Yeah.
But they said 5G give it to you.
I just want my phone to work. That's all. I don't.
They said the masks are giving it to you.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to get too crazy.
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
got some that I think about. I'm like, that does make sense. But then I read an article and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Let me hear it.
I think, okay, people protesting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The police are breaking up the protests,
Yep.
or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to say? The police could break up. I'm not even trying to get political, but the police could break up the protests any kind of way. This is just about the COVID thing.
Yeah.
What method were they using to break up the protests the most? Out of all the tools they had, what were they using the most?
Was it tear gas?
Tear gas. Tear gas makes you sneeze.
Oh, yeah.
Sneeze.
Oh, yeah.
Cough. Choke. Spit up. People throwing up.
You're right.
And I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic and the police are actively spreading COVID.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
That's 100. That's what they do. I mean, that's the first thing I thought when I saw that shit. I was like, and then people want you to go out there, but I'm like, bro, like it's just this is somebody. I don't know who it is. I don't know who this person is. I mean, it's so far beyond me. I'll never meet this person in my life, or the group of people, or the great council, or whatever the fuck it is. But that is somebody's plan. That's somebody's plan. This COVID thing happened. I'm thinking, okay, for once, America's going to band together, black, white, straight, gay, whatever. We're going to get on the same page for once and just kill this virus. Because America always needs another thing to fight. Like, we always need a other. We need the, think about the cartel, Al-Qaeda, or what, or we need a other group or other something to, like, be at our strongest.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this virus, this other thing, would make us work together, and that just straight up did not happen.
Well, if it would have been handled differently, I think that could have happened. But the information was back and forth. It kept changing. And Americans also hate to be bullshitted, too. So a lot of people feel like they don't know what they can believe because the first information that came out was saying, don't wear masks, they don't help you. And that's not true. That was a false statement by the leaders of this country and by the leaders of the health organization. You know, the World Health Organization was saying that. Fauci was saying that. And it was a false statement. Masks do prevent the spread of any virus like that. And the only reason they said that is because they didn't want people to buy up all the PPE that they wanted for the hospitals. But they could have just said, hey, don't buy up all the PPE, but covering your face does prevent this thing. And like in Japan, they didn't even shut the economy down. They just wore masks, and it got rid of it.
Yeah.
And Americans, listen, if Americans are going to shut down their businesses for months, they'll all wear a mask. That would have been a lot easier to just say, hey, everybody cover your face. We're going to cover our faces until this thing dies down. It would have died down within probably 6 weeks, and we'd be fine. Nothing would have closed. Yeah. We could have kept everything open and maybe done some extra stuff for elderly people and people in rest homes and stuff like that. And everybody would have been on board. But instead it gets politicized, and then people get tribal and they start to build their groups. It doesn't have to make any sense.
Yeah.
If you start to develop an ideology, then you feel like you're part of a team, and then people just attract to those teams. It's just, we're all primates, so we do weird shit.
I was talking to my boy Micah right before this podcast, actually, and we were talking about just America, and we just get to the conversation about it. But he's like, "How are we going to change things? How are we going to change things?" And I was like, in my opinion, I said, "What we're trying to change is an ideology.
Yeah,
you want to change people's way of thinking, but that is." Changing somebody's mind is the hardest thing in the world to do. I could easily, not saying I would, but I could easily kill 500 people before I could change one dude's mind. And that's crazy to me. Before I could make him be like, man, just see it this way. Or just think about it this way. But or just use violence. or everybody's looking for a solution, and the correct solution for like I don't know, like just the flawed laws we have, systemic racism. It's just an ideology change. Like a lot of these things are just written down somewhere, and like somebody's got to change it. Somebody got to delete
They're not
it.
real. We believe in them. Yeah.
All you gotta do is erase it or change it or just do whatever. But people, it's so convoluted. People are like, just leave it. Just let it work itself out.
Well, I think those things are changing. That's that's why we're having this conversation now. Yeah. And if you watch our last podcast, we talk about a lot of these issues, and it's our generation, I think Generation X, that's going to change a lot of these things. Yeah. When we've got 70-year-olds running to be the president, they have nothing to do with our generation, right? Our ideas. It's old school politics. We need Generation X people to come in, new politicians to come up with new ideas. And fix a lot of these problems because, I mean, really society is a construct that we all believe in. We choose to believe in it, and that's why it works that way. And really we can make it whatever we want to. And I think our system is actually, there are a lot of really positive things about our system. We just need to revamp it some. We need to change some of it, reform it, and take all the bullshit out of it. All the racist laws and nonsense laws and things that are designed to hinder people or create roadblocks.
Yeah, laws that were created in like any law created in the 1800s. That's where I would start. Let's look at those first.
Yeah.
The laws created in the 1800s. Yeah. Let's look at those first.
Or in the 1950s and 60s.
Yeah. We'll get there, but I'm saying let's start early. Let's just start early. Just start getting.
We don't need this. You
can't have a horse in your bed. All right, we don't need this. This law was for one dude. One dude kept everybody up at night because he kept fucking with his horse. And then we try to stop it. But I'm like, let's start there, man.
Yeah,
we can get to just now. But I'm like,
trim the fat.
There's so much. Yeah. I guarantee there's so much bullshit.
Oh, there is.
In the 1700s and the 1800s. It's like, let's get rid of that first.
Most communities still have laws that says it's against the law to spit on the sidewalk.
I'm good with that law.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it, though.
Don't spit on the sidewalk.
Like, there's a law that says you're not allowed to spit on the sidewalk. Like, think about it.
But like a lot of these, but I mean, it's a good rule of thumb. You know what I'm saying? Also, the rule of thumb thing, like you can't beat your wife with a stick bigger than your thumb. That's a crazy one.
It's a North Carolina law.
South Carolina, you can beat your wife on courthouse steps between the hours of 12 and 1 on Sunday.
Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah. They said 12 and 1.
That's why you wanted to go to South Carolina.
It's got to be after church.
They said we'll give you an hour. Come on, and the thing is that law exists right now. So if you did it, a cop got to be like, ugh, goddamn, oh shit. I can't do nothing for 59 minutes. I can't do nothing for 59 minutes. I'm sorry.
If you're gonna drag your wife all over the courthouse just to beat her on the steps,
just to make it legal, I mean, that's a monster. That's a whole monster right there. That's a whole monster right there.
There are a lot of problems in that.
That's the problem you showed us.
Yeah.
You got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But we could just change a lot of shit, man. We could change a lot of these laws, make everything better. I mean, I'm looking at other countries now, and I'm just watching them reopen, and everybody's happy, and like the families together. I'm just like, this could have been us.
Well, but we're a lot bigger than most of those countries too, and we're also a free society. So and we have. America's unique, man.
But it's discipline though. Yeah, like you said, like with the mask thing, it's discipline. No matter if you could just take a second to like take a deep breath and put your whatever your religious views are aside or racial views or whatever views aside and be like, all right, for the good of the all, for the good of everybody, I got to do X, Y, and Z. It's easy.
Well, that's why.
But see, the problem is most people don't believe that.
That's right.
They don't believe that that's a solution.
The greater good?
No, they don't believe wearing a mask solves a problem.
Well, see, it's not even if it solves. It was like if
it comes back to that misinformation. They were saying, hey, don't wear a mask, it doesn't work. And then they said, hey, you need to wear a mask, it works. And then now you got groups saying, hey, wearing a mask is really toxic, you're inhaling carbon dioxide all day.
Which is not true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the problem is all the information, people don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's also, it shouldn't be political. This shouldn't be a political issue. This should be a medical issue.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have one guy that's part of Big Pharma telling us, what's true or not, because you can't believe that guy. He's already lied to us. The first thing he said was a lie. So how about have a group of medical professionals and show us the statistics, show us the studies. That's what I get my information from studies. I don't pay attention to the news. I read the medical journals or I follow what the scientists are doing, what they're saying. Because those are the people that are actually getting the real information, not politicians, because they'll tell you everything.
But whenever
they'll tell you what they think that their constituents want to hear.
The scientists, I mean, they got information, but this is just personal. Every time I watch a scientist, I always am just injected with fear because they're talking like. And I know they have been. They've been like, I've been trying to tell y'all about this for like 2 years.
Oh yeah,
and nobody would listen to
Longer
me.
than that.
And like when they finally get screen time, they look crazy. So I'm like, hey, bro, you done make me feel good right now. I'm gonna listen to a politician, who sounds comfortable and calm because you freaking me the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Well, also goes back to saying we shouldn't have a president. We should have a round table of experts.
Oh my God, talk about that.
Yeah, we
need a, bro. This is just my nerd fantasy brain. There's always like a grand council or something.
Yeah,
like
we need
that.
a council.
There's always like it's like this is the dude in charge of magic, the dude in charge of the army, the dude in charge of secrets.
But
It's
not
a
even
secrets
have-
dude. Like he's in charge of secrets.
Yeah.
You have like 4 or 5 dudes just in charge of separate shit. And like, okay, what do y'all think?
Have five people of each, 5 professionals or experts in each area. Like 5 scientists, 5 entrepreneurs, 5 economists.
I hate this whole like we got this whole thing we got just in the world about like one person making every decision
insane.
for everybody. Like we got rid of kings and said, all right, it's not about bloodline now, but it's still
Still a
one
king,
person.
sort of.
You're still a king, but it's like about you can, like anybody can become king as opposed to like it being in one bloodline. But anybody can do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't understand our 2-party system. To this day,
I don't like that either. Yeah, it's divisive.
I've read about other parties that seem phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm like, why they not saying nothing? Why they not getting a say?
Oh,
That's why I'm independent.
There's an ice cream and pony party. Y'all know that?
yeah. Oh, what's
really?
They all about giving everybody ice cream and ponies.
Hey.
I'm like, why they not talking more?
Yeah.
Who's not with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, you know what's funny is that now things are so bad. I'm sitting here going, actually, that sounds like a good idea. Ice cream.
Who don't like ice cream?
That's solved
I
a
like
lot of
ice
problems.
cream.
Even if you're lactose intolerant, you like ice cream.
I don't care about the pony. They can keep the ponies.
You can sell yours.
Hey,
You can sell yours.
that's right.
That's economy right there. You want a pony? I ain't want mine.
Yeah, some people
I
want
didn't even want my free pony.
Somebody want 2 ponies.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just a lot of things confuse me. It feels like a video game. It feels like the Matrix.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, it is.
It's a lot of things that just straight up don't make sense, aren't useful.
Yeah.
But if you think about a video game, like why is this even here? Oh, it's here just to make my life harder. It's not. It don't serve a purpose other than to attack me.
Yeah.
Well, it is a construct, and I think with the technology we have today, we can see through it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because we have access to so much knowledge and information.
Yeah.
So it's harder for politicians to bullshit us and lie to us now too, because we're like, well, that doesn't make sense. How can one adult tell another adult what they can or can't do with their own body? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're not special. They're not. We know that. In the past, people believed that kings were enlightened, like they were
Chosen
gods.
by God or something like that.
Now we know they're just like us. They're just
Yeah.
people. There's nothing special.
If there
about
was ever a time to like be the dude in charge, I mean, it was that time. Like,
Oh yeah.
only like 2 niggas could read or whatever the fuck. Like, of course, I control all the books in the whole kingdom. Like, you can't tell me nothing.
That's right.
I'm gonna do what I want to do. This other dude, he's gonna do what he wants to do. My kids are gonna do what they want to do. Y'all gonna fight and die for me. I mean, it's a good setup for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've soon
You have your scribes that write down all the crazy shit you say.
I know the moment they made cell phones, politicians were like, "Fuck." They were like, how we want to control people?"
Yeah.
It used to be if you heard something that you didn't believe, you had to like wait. You had to like write it
couldn't
down,
disprove it.
or just remember it, and then go somewhere else to research it. Like I go to the library or go to my home computer.
impossible. Yeah.
Like, but now it's like, man, that ain't true. And just look at it, just Google it right there, and just call somebody that bullshit in the exact real time moment.
And get a lot of different credible sources.
Yeah, but
instantly.
But also, what Daniel said, it's like we live in the golden age of information. And just aside from our civil issues, I mean, just think about as a nerd and like just entertainment and technology, we're living in the golden age. We're living in the golden age, which also kind of scary to me because there's always a story about some highly advanced civilization that crumbled overnight.
Destroys themselves. Yeah.
That just implodes on itself. And I'm like, we're getting to that point.
Could happen.
We're getting to that point. We're close. I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, but I give it like maybe 2 more generations.
Do you ever read any Ray Kurzweil stuff?
No.
He's the lead engineer at Google. He's also a big entrepreneur, but he's also a big futurist.
Okay.
He's a scientist. and he I think 86% of his predictions from '99 have come true, and he predicts that by the end of this decade, by like 2029, we'll start merging with AI. So we'll something like Neurolink.
I know you're talking about with that. I seen Chappie.
Have you seen Have you seen Neuralink? Have you seen Elon Musk Neuralink?
Nah, but I'm excited.
So he developed a chip that implants into your brain. It's tiny, but it's got 1,000 leads that come off the chip and interact with your neurons. And it uses a Bluetooth device that goes behind your ear to interact with your phone and your computer.
Sign me up.
Oh, and he said that he's going to provide it for free for all black people.
Oh Lord, wait. I like it.
It makes me nervous.
I like when something's behind a barrier because that way, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we got the cure for AIDS, and black people getting it first. I'm like, no, we not. No, we not. No, we not. No, we not. No, we not doing that. We are not doing that. And that's so. You know how bad it is when people offering you free shit. You just internally trained to be like, man, it's a fucking trick.
Yeah,
it's a trap.
Agree.
It's a goddamn trap.
Go ahead and sign up for this study.
Can't do it.
Human trial study.
It could be like, what's that fucking movie with McConaughey? Not McConaughey. Goddamn. Bradley Cooper. He's super genius all the time.
What is that? Talking about? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like Limitless?
Limitless. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. Limitless. They could be like, we're giving all black people the Limitless pill, gonna make y'all super billionaire moguls, and we will be like, we don't know.
I wouldn't take it first.
I'd be like, yo, give it to like a homeless white dude first. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
You get real smart, and then you get a brain tumor.
Come on, man. Like we gotta see something happen first.
Yeah.
Well, the idea with the Neuralink though is that at first it'll be used for people that have cognitive disorders, or they have some kind of physical ailments.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like a brain enhancement to bridge the gap of whatever's damaged in their brain. But then eventually, it'll give you access to interact with your technology just through your thoughts, and then
that's dope.
You'll have access to the internet through your mind. So you'll be hooked into the internet. So you'll have unlimited information. You won't have to go to school anymore. You'll just know everything.
Yeah. That's
and
dope.
at that point, people won't be able to lie to each other. And I think eventually you'll be able to telepathically communicate with each other too.
But if everybody knows everything and everybody knows all the bullshit and all the facts, I would just like for us all to be on the same page.
Well, we would be at that point.
Can you imagine the entire just humans, every human being on the same page from the jump? As soon as you're born, chip, nigga, you know it. Everything I know. I know your mom, but everything I know, you know. And we can just advance and just progress. And like, if they had like a discipline chip, like, all right, we're gonna start fucking up our environment. We're gonna stop. I had that plant-based meat for the first time, like that fake plant meat. I like it.
Well, you know that they have lab-created meats now. They actually.
I don't know about all that now.
It's really pure. It's actually better for you than regular meat because they take the genes from the cow.
But you see how I'm just skeptical
out
the gate. He said, I was like, hey, I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah, so they take a really healthy cow.
Yeah.
And they extract its genes, and then they use those genes to grow the meat in a lab. So this meat is free of antibodies. It's never been exposed to the environment. So
I need a burger. I need one burger. I mean, I think we can talk about it all day. I need a burger on a plate. I need to bite it to see what's going on.
They have burgers now. They should be on the market this year. And
how do you know all this stuff, Neil? Like, how
I read a bunch of science shit, man.
Actually,
that's my hobby, is reading science.
I think August 19th is when they're going to drop the new burgers.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2020. It should be available in some restaurants, but with COVID, it may be pushed off another year.
I'm weird. I'm old school. I want to kill my own cow, and I want to eat it fresh. Like
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm more like that. Yeah. I'm more like that's my mindset. I'm like, how am I going to enjoy my food if nothing died?
Well, I think it's about
if nothing died for me to eat this. I think
it's about sustainability because if they can do this successfully and at a large enough scale to feed everyone, then you don't have to have these huge factory farms anymore. You can cut down the cattle population probably by to a tenth of what it is now globally. And so it's a lot better for the environment. It's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot more efficient to feed millions or billions of people, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that's the benefit. And you don't have the ethnic or the ethic issues with it.
You know, Cat Williams had an old joke about the clone cow meat on his it was like his most famous special, I think. Like, it's pimpin'.
Who is it?
Cat Williams.
Oh, Cat Williams, yeah.
He said they trying to feed us clone cow meat now. And he was talking about the benefits of it. And he said it's gonna be delicious though. It's gonna be delicious. Everybody gonna enjoy it until your daughter got like one horn growing out of her head or some shit like that. Yeah, but he was talking about that a while ago, man. I'm the most regular whatever the fuck dude American. Like, I'm a consumer. I like consuming shit. People talk about big data, like how they know I need a mattress, like because you said mattress by your phone and now they trying to help you out.
Yeah.
I like that shit. I like when I'm buying video games. I'm like, hey, would you be interested in this headset? I'm like, I might need it. Thank you. I wouldn't even think about a headset. Thank you. I might need one. Mine kind of old. You know what I'm saying? I'm chip coming out. Hey, put it in, bro.
They just heard you complain about your other headset.
Put a chip in. Put the chip in.
This thing's not working. What's going on here?
It would kind of kill comedy because that means everybody had the capacity to be super funny though. You know, that's the only thing to think about.
I mean,
but I think comedy comes from a different spot. It don't come from being super smart or knowing all the facts. It just comes from like, I can't pinpoint the area, but it just comes from some point like in the first 5 years of your life, and you funny.
Yeah,
like you understand funny.
I'm an open micer, so I'm not a comedian yet.
You're a comedian. There's just different levels to this shit. But I mean,
from the outside looking into it though. I came into comedy from a writing perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and but what I like about comedians and comedy is it seems like a really good platform for people to talk about how nonsensical society is sometimes.
Yeah.
And which the comedy I write is observational anyway. So for me it's a good way to take ideas about society that I have problems with and make light of them and discuss them and just throw them out there and kind of show the absurdity in human nature and what we do but I think comedy is important, man. I think in some ways, you know, especially right now, a lot of people take themselves too seriously. 100%. And a comedian can come out and just say, that's insane, and this is why, and make light of it, and then it gives people a different perspective, you know, and makes them not take themselves so seriously. Yeah,
the problem with the times we live in right now is, and it's the same problem you have in any industry. I mean, I'm sure you guys just like, I don't say just entrepreneurs, but like philanthropists, entrepreneurs, like that's. Yeah. You guys seem nice, but I'm pretty sure you know entrepreneurs that aren't nice and they're creeps. And they cheat and they backstab like any other. Like any. I try to explain that like with anything because now it's like kind of it's probably already formed, but like this whole idea that like comedians are like monsters. Like you got Bill Cosby, Krista Lee, Louis C.K. You know what I'm saying? Like. But you see how they take three people to be people. But those are just not great. They was gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, they're not good people.
You remember that the saying is like, I trust you, just not the devil inside of you. You ever heard that?
I never heard that.
All right, so that's the way I apply to everything. Like, listen, to me, people are people. It's humanity, right? But people also have the right. They have free will. They have the right to choose. And sometimes you make mistakes. Some mistakes bigger than others, right? But they also go back and look. And let's be real. I'm not condoning what Cosby did, but let's be real. Let's go back. Tell me that when you were younger, you didn't go to a party and be like, oh, I'm about to get fucked up. I know I did. I'm about to get fucked up tonight. You had girls who maybe like, oh, I'm about to get fucked up tonight. Go back in time, and the culture was different, right? At parties. Like people were going.
Your mindset about what you were going, like, now, if I went to a party, my mindset would be like, I'm about to respect everybody's space.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you said, 2010, 2011, I ain't drink till I got to college. So when I would start drinking in my dorm, I'm about to get fucked up. That's the only thing I was thinking.
Exactly.
It won't even like, I'm going to go get fucked up and I'm like, I'm just trying to get fucked up.
Well,
I'm just trying to get drunk.
But like you have a guy and a girl that go get fucked up together and they have a relationship. And this is a common thing they do over an extended period of time. Yeah. Right? And there's communication, there's stuff. And it was never a problem until 20 years from now. That's where I have like an issue. Like, wait a second. Or 30 years or 40 years. Like, and I wasn't there. Nobody else was there either. Yeah. But like, that's where I go, I don't know, man.
That's what you're saying.
Well, Cosby was different, though. Cosby was actually drugging people.
Well, I mean, like,
He was like, she's going to get fucked up, and I'm going to take advantage of that.
The thing about Cosby, and this is what...
And I don't know about Cosby specific. I'm just giving an example. Like there are incidents with people where both were
it was like a consensual fuck buddy type thing.
Right. So that went on for a long period of time, and then 30 years went on.
Somebody get some success.
And then nothing happened, and then you see all the civil suits.
Well, back in the 80s and 90s and, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, people would get drunk together and party and do inappropriate things. It was just part of society.
Yeah.
Go to the local
and
strip
some
club.
of those, and I'm sure some of those people are coming back and saying, "Oh, this person took advantage of me," and they didn't.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I'm ready. And
I think those problems work themselves out, though.
And I'm married, but if I was single, I'm ready to be taken advantage of. Right? I mean, like, and I think most men would say that. Like, hey,
dude,
you know.
Yeah, but dude, the thing is, is another one. Like a woman's biggest threat is a man. A man's biggest threat is like heart disease. Like, so when you go out, you don't give a fuck. You're not even worried. You're like, man, take advantage. Because the person that's in your mind taking advantage of you is probably a smaller than you.
Oh yeah.
Heterosexual woman. If Dwayne The Rock Johnson was like, "Hey, you trying to get taken advantage of?" You'd be like, "Nah, I didn't mean. I didn't know you could hear me. I was just talking that shit.
I wasn't talking about you."
You know what I'm saying? But
no, that's true. That's who knows, man. It's so. They
don't have receipts. Like right now in this day and age, bro. Anybody say anything from the inception of Facebook, I'm like, I got receipts somewhere to prove my innocence. Yeah. But Bill Cosby, all them, they got nothing except word of mouth, some angry drunk voicemails.
When the facts build up to a certain level, too.
We need an app, a consent app that everybody.
They already got that.
They have them,
but everybody needs to be forced to use it. Like, listen,
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. And there's a proximity. Like it picks up our phones, and we about to do. Are you about to do something illegal? It just needs to say like maybe. Do you consent? Check. Boom, good to go.
This consent happens though. Like from what I hear, I ain't never had to use it. I had a girlfriend the whole time, but you check off like what you are or are not into in bed, and then that way the other person just reads the shit, like, okay, I can do all this stuff, or I can't do none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just but whatever it is, you ain't no miscommunication about anything. Everybody knew. I signed, she signed, she checked these boxes, I checked these boxes, and it's a beautiful thing.
We are becoming robots.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
because that used to be like a awkward conversation, like the whole like, are you clean type situation.
Oh yeah,
they need to have an STD app, like just updated your updated records of like your physical health. And that way, hey, you good? You're like, oh, here you go, boom, 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 check.
Yeah, check it out, yeah.
I got checked 6 months
hey,
ago.
Where's
boom,
the
boom,
Dwayne?
boom.
I guess it's less
Johnson
guessing, you know. It's like, oh, yeah, I don't have to figure that out. So.
Something like that, man. I mean, we are becoming more like robots, but at the same time, I guess
we're being respect, I guess.
We're just reached our ultimate form.
Yeah.
Because we built the robots.
Oh, yeah. I think we're all one thing. I think all humanity is one organism.
Yeah, so we definitely...
We're just getting more connected.
When you said the synaptic thing, my brain immediately went to like, all right, put my brain in the computer, live forever. 2, video games about to be fucking crazy. Like video games are about, because we have all these dumbass limitations of like press X, press square, move the stick. If you could just put somebody in Red Dead Redemption 3,
be amazing.
You just be like, all right, do
more terrifying, but it'd be awesome.
It's kind of terrifying, but at the same time, like it's nothing. There's no limitations. Like you can do whatever that would just change. Gaming is something I beat myself up about not investing in early. Like when I was like 5 or 6 and just had a couple dollars here and there, just buying some stock in like Nintendo or Sony. Back when they were like relatively growing companies, now they're conglomerates and shit like that. Yeah. And the stuff they're doing with their games is just like it's groundbreaking.
Have you seen the Unreal 5 engine?
Yeah, bro.
I don't play games anymore.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I keep up with on everything, like the technology, the companies merging, like video games. That's my shit.
The graphics in that new engine are unbelievable. They're photorealistic. You can't tell it's not real.
I think honestly, video games are about to drive movies out of business.
Maybe.
I think video games about to kill movies.
Or maybe change the format of films to make things interactive.
It's going to blend them because now you're watching more and more actors and actresses just be in a video game.
Well, I think you may actually have an option to be. Well, you know they shoot a lot of movies and then animate them now, or they're doing several like that. Where you see some series where they shoot a film with real people, but they animate over them.
Yeah.
And in that kind of scenario, especially with the technology now, you could make it photorealistic. So you could actually have different perspectives in the film. Like maybe the viewer could be the main character. Like you could have that perspective.
Dude, if you had like a movie that had like a cast of like 7 people, and you could just watch the movie from each person's
perspective,
eyeball, that should be crazy, dude.
It'd be amazing, yeah.
Watch a traditional cinematic view, but then have like another view of like just each person's their eyes. And like another thing that would be dope is if they could do that, they could also put the person's thoughts with them. So these are thoughts and everything.
Once it's in your head, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one thing I hate, like when I'm reading a book and then like watch the movie. In the book, they can always go into the characters' like inspirations, what drives them, like what happened before. It can go into their mind and it gets you another level of detail.
Yeah, really pulls you into it. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's it's a good point too. Once we have that technology, I think because our biggest problem in society is a lack of empathy. We don't empathize with each other.
100%.
But once we have that technology, we'll all understand how we all feel.
Yeah.
That'll be. If we reach that level, that'll change everything. It's like the damn
Borg. I hope it's not like that, though. Like, just everybody's thoughts.
I hope we have our own firewall so we can still be individuals but be connected.
Yeah.
Like, I can share my feelings with you if I want to.
Yeah. Well, what if you sitting around, everybody just chilling, and then somebody just, like, fucks up and presses their chip the wrong way, and, like, you just hear, like, sobbing and weeping and fire. You're like, who the fuck is that?
We're all sad.
And Neil's like, oh, my bad. Shit, I ain't know. I'm just sitting. I ain't
it's dark in there, man.
I'm like, but you look so normal, bro. All that's going on. That should be funny as hell, man. Not really, but hell yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I know this is not what happened, but I feel like this is what could happen. You were talking about advanced civilizations earlier, about them getting wiped out.
Just getting wiped out.
So imagine this. We continue to progress forward. All paper medium, physically writing, all paper medium goes away. Everything goes digital.
Yeah.
Okay? Everything goes digital. Instead of nuclear bombs that kill people, some type of nuclear bomb that blows up all the data, destroys it. Right? Now all the data, all the world's technology, because now let's fast forward. It's 50 years, 100 years, whatever. All paper medium is gone. It's all stored digitally. You wipe out every book, everything, all this stuff. And then if you do some type of mass extinction, kill people, you restart society.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's a lot of reasons Neil's going to give me that that's not what happened, but in my mind I'm sitting there going, this could be something that does
definitely
happen.
could happen.
That's called the Great Filter.
Yeah.
There's a theory that every advanced society that we haven't seen any other signs of other civilizations like us in the universe. I mean, granted, we've only explored a tiny bit of it.
Yeah.
But other than the fact that things are so far away in space, is that there's something called a Great Filter, which it means that every advanced society eventually destroys itself.
Yeah.
So it never reaches that level to become intergalactic. But there's also a theory that I heard recently that could be very possible too. That's maybe societies like ours are fairly common out in the universe, but they know about each other, so they don't know we're here. Like, they're not worried about constantly searching for life in other places because they're like neighbors. So they don't really care.
Yeah, we're kind of off to the side, you think?
Like, oh, we know aliens. They live over there in that quadrant or whatever, yeah.
Like, yeah, if we discovered aliens, we would be looking for more aliens.
And also...
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we would.
Well, we'd probably just keep searching, but, I mean, the universe is infinite.
We haven't even explored our whole ocean yet. We got to get this shit
right.
right.
Yeah. Well, also, if we do live in some kind of a simulation, everything's definitely data. Everything is all the same stuff. We're all, every bit of life is the result of a star that exploded. So, and when you go down to the smallest levels, the quantum levels of everything, of reality, it's all data. It's all information. So, if it is some type, like the whole universe could actually be some type of a neural network, some type of cognitive consciousness or something, and then and it doesn't have to be like a computer simulation like what we would think of. It could be something much greater, and I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But it could be something like a computer simulation. If that's the case, then everything's just an illusion. Time and space don't exist. We're all just in a single point of information. We are just information. And then when we look inside something to see, what's in it or what it's made of, like when I'm looking at this table, I see the table, but maybe there's nothing inside it until I look in it. because it's part of the simulation to make it look like it's something real, but it's not.
Yeah.
And, you can keep going down those rabbit holes, and they don't matter because what's real to us is all that matters. It's what's important to us. But they're fascinating ideas. But if that's the case, then reality may continue forever. Like you die in this reality, and then you wake up in another reality, or because your information just goes on because you're just a simulation.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. Yeah. That's all I
think it'd be cool if there was more beyond this.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely more beyond this, but as far as like, I don't know, it's like us experiencing it. That's my thing.
Maybe you die in this life, and then you wake up and you're like, fuck, man, how long was I gone? And we're like hanging out with some other beings. You're like, oh, dude, you were in there for like 2 minutes. That was your whole life, just in a game.
This could just be a ride. This could just be a ride. I'm just got some tentacles or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what kind of game is that in this other civilization? What kind of game is like, yo, jump in this booth. Yeah. We'll erase everything. Well, you'll live a whole life filled with tragedy, triumph, maybe love. Yeah. What kind of ride is that? Like, what kind of game is that?
Well, maybe we're some kind of beings, and we reached like this eternal level where like you just never die and you get bored, so you create these other worlds and you just go and live in these simulations.
I would hate to be so bored that this is what I'm doing right now. And I got so bored, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to play a game where first of all I can die, but then I want to play a character that's like got less advantages than all the other characters.
I'm looking for a real challenge this time.
Hold on. Put the game on very hard. Put the game on 5 skulls.
Have you seen the video of the egg? Have you heard of Kurt? Is it Kurt's Cassat?
I think
it's a YouTube channel. They do these really nice animated videos of like really deep ideas, and they have this one video called The Egg, and I shared it with him.
You don't have to say if you do or don't, but it's best watched high, I believe.
I think you should for sure.
I'll crush that today. Then.
Yeah.
But it basically says that we're all the same person.
I like that.
So like this guy dies, and he's talking to this being.
It'll make more sense because when he tried to explain it to me, I was like, and then I started to watch it, and I wasn't properly prepared, and then I got properly prepared, and we watched it, and I was like, oh.
Properly prepared?
It's a deep concept, man.
I was like, wait a second. I said, Neil, wait. I got to smoke. Hold on, wait. I can't do this right now. Hold on.
Free up your mind a little bit.
Yeah. You got to remove the barriers, right? Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Dude.
But it's interesting. Like so the concept is that he dies, and then he meets this being who he thinks of as God, and the being, starts telling him about his life and stuff, and about how he's happy that he's doing better. But then he's like, I'm going to put you back this time as a I think like a Chinese girl in like the 5th century or something.
Good God.
And
that's rough as shit.
He's like, whoa, back in time? He's like, well, time doesn't exist. So it's in your perspective, yes, but in my perspective, it's all happening at the same time. Everything's happening at once.
Like, damn, what is it called? Fuck. The blue dude, Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You seen that? Watchmen.
Watchmen, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, everything's happening at the same time for him.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand it now. Boom.
So like, but he was saying that we're all the same being. We're just trying to learn how to be better. And once we have enough knowledge, then we'll be that higher level being. We'll be that next level of consciousness. Which when you think about reality, and that may be complete nonsense, but when you think about our reality as human beings, and you think about evolution, you go back to the beginning. We all started as a single-cell organism, right?
Yeah.
And we evolved, and all life has evolved and in different forms, different life forms. But we're a conscious, self-aware life form, which is really strange. And we're really fascinated with nature and certain things, and I often wonder, is that fascination because it's actually nature looking back at itself? You know, are we so curious because we're actually waking up, like we are nature awakening, you know, like the universe awakening, and then being fascinated with itself.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
You know, so who knows? But those are fun thoughts.
I like that. That does make sense the more you went into it. Like how we all because we all came from the same single cell organism.
We probably should be high right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Next time.
I ain't want to freak y'all out, man. I ain't know if the feds are going to be out here. Nothing like that.
No. Hey,
I'm looking around. You ain't got no damn, no sprinkles, nothing like that.
So not in this room. Not in this room. This is a, what's the good word for it? It's you can't say pro-choice.
Pro you?
It's pro do what the fuck you want to do. That's the way I feel. Don't.
Word?
Yeah, don't. It's for me. It's like, as long as you don't affect me.
Yeah, as long as you're not affecting my rights, you do what you want to do.
Listen, like, let's say people want to do cocaine.
Yeah.
Right there. Have at it.
It's not something I'd be interested in. But
Yeah, like, you want to do cocaine, have at it. Don't bring it around my kids.
Yeah.
Right? When my kids hit a certain age and they want to try, hey, I don't think you should do it. Here's the reasons why. Right?
Yeah.
Trust me, you're going to fuck some people up if you start doing this because you have these other things that happen. But if you would like to do it at this point, you're an adult, you want to make the decision, have at it. Right?
If you got the money for it, go for it.
But I think it's a bad idea, but you do your thing, right?
Yeah.
The moment you steal from me to buy your cocaine, now I got a problem.
Yeah, you
not
affected me.
with you doing the cocaine. I got a problem with you stealing from me.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Right? Like, and same thing with weed. With,
Well, all the
whatever.
drug laws
Yeah,
were basically
man. You were talking about the drug laws earlier.
race-based anyway. They were all they were designed to attack people during the civil rights movement.
It is
like
crazy.
What is caffeine, honestly? Is that not a stimulant?
Right?
Right. Okay.
It's a drug.
Caffeine's a drug.
Powerful drug. It'll kill
Right.
you. 1,000 milligrams of caffeine can kill you.
Yeah, so
shit.
caffeine's legal, but cocaine's not. They both do the same thing. You know?
Doctors were prescribing cigarettes. They're like, yo, you got anxiety? Smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
What the fuck wrong with you? What the fuck wrong with you? Go calm down. You look nervous.
Yeah. Get some nicotine. Nicotine will help you out, right?
Like, yo, smoke a cigarette, bro. Calm down. They legit. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, that's the one thing. If I could ever go back in time, I'd be like, I want to be a white dude that's going to be a doctor, because you could have been a doctor and just said anything. You could have said anything. A girl could be like, my stomach hurt. You'd be like, bitch, you insane.
Yeah.
You are insane.
We're gonna drill through your head.
You are insane. You are insane.
Yeah, you go back far enough.
You are insane. I'm prescribing shock therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to drill your head.
She'd be like, I want to be. She could be like, I want to fly a plane. He'd be like, this bitch has lost it.
Yeah.
She lost her mind. She crazy. Yeah. She crazy. Like I would just love to have been a doctor back. Just have no medical experience. Just say how you feel.
Yeah.
And
the 30s.
That just makes a medical book.
Yeah.
A black dude beat you up. And you're like, man, you know what? Black people can't be doctors. It's just I found something in their brain. What you find? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there. I assure you.
It's beyond your understanding.
Yeah, but I was just reading.
I'm a
that shit all the
doctor.
time.
I'm a doctor.
They were like, listen, black people can't. They just can't. They can't do it. Can't do what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They just can't. That dude beat me up the other day, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
People are crazy, man. That's another thing too. That's a positive thing. I mentioned this in the last podcast also. Stephen Pinker is a brilliant psychologist. He wrote a book called Enlightenment Now, and he shows how humanity's gotten progressively better over the years. And like, I think it'll be nice when we reach a level as a society, as a civilization, that race and those types of things don't mean anything, because they really aren't real.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be specific, all humanity came out of Africa. We were all black at one point about 70,000 years ago, and then different groups of people migrated to different parts of the world, and then adapted to those environments, and that's why you have different skin colors,
different heritage,
and we have different adaptations based on those regions.
Yeah.
You know, what you needed to survive in that region, because we're constantly evolving and changing.
But I think the biggest thing we talk about is a social construct, and I get it. Like this, it's something that we put value in to make it even a topic of conversation. But it's still a construct. Like money's a social construct.
It is.
But I still need $680 every month to pay my rent. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
100%,
Like the same thing with it would. I think everybody could agree if we got to a point tomorrow, like, man, race don't matter no more. It's just about being a human being.
Yeah.
I think most people would be behind that. The people that weren't behind that were the people that we don't need and have to get rid of. Then that's why I'm praying for like a zombie apocalypse or an alien invasion, because like I said, we always need something else to unify. For every zombie or alien movie, the whole world bands together. Fuck your race, fuck everything. We got to get these other people out of here.
Some existential threat.
We would definitely need another like for real, like zombies. Like we would need something else to be like, to even see like, okay, you're just like me. You're just like me. Fuck all the bullshit. It's all bullshit. Fuck all the bullshit. Right. Kill them. Kill zombies. That's that's the only thing that matters in this world right now is killing zombies. Yeah. I don't care if you sold drugs. I don't care if you had an abortion. I don't care if you was a Republican. I don't care about none of that. Kill zombies and run fast.
If you can't run fast,
only people that would be bad for is all the body positive people. That are like, it's okay to be, and it is.
It's okay to be a zombie.
It's gotta be okay to be a zombie because you ain't fast.
Yeah,
body positive people are beautiful, whatever. They not fast. I ain't never seen a fast body positive person in my life. In my whole life.
But body positive does not mean that you should have the right to shame other people that take care of their body, like that. They feel like
you can't.
Hey, you want to be fat?
Well, we have a lot of.
We're talking. I'm body positive. I ain't fast. I'm a good shot. I'm a great shot.
Well, we have a lot of, there's a lot of nonsense out there right now too with ideologies, because I think the part of this because society is so easy. It's people are soft and we create problems. But when I see like real problems, like race issues or like with some of the protests and stuff like that, I look at things like that and I say, okay, well, what is the real problem? Where is this? What's the root of this problem? What's causing the problem in our society? And the biggest problem we have in society is poverty. We shouldn't have poverty in this country. We're one of the richest nations in the world. Yeah. We should not have poverty in this country. And there's not enough money in this country to fix the poverty right now. There's just not. If you took all the money in the U.S. and you divided it between all the people, it might be $20,000 a person. Period.
Yeah.
So there's not enough money, and the problem, and I talked about this in the last podcast, is we base our money on the stock market, on GDP, on businesses and stuff like. It shouldn't be based on those things. It should be based on people. We should base the value of our money on people, and we would have enough money because we have the technology, and all problems in society are based on resources, a lack of resources. It's everybody trying to get the resources they need to have the life that they want to have. And if you get rid of poverty, if you want to have a good country and a good society, you want to have good people. And if you want to have good people, you can't have people that have no opportunities and live in poverty, because those are desperate people that are fighting for resources. Yes. And somebody that's desperate and fighting for resources is a dangerous person. They'll kill you because they need resources. And it's understandable. So you got to fix that problem. We should. It is a construct. It's what we believe it is. Yeah. Money is worth what it is because we believe it's worth that. It's like a credit. We say, okay, well, this dollar is worth 100 credits, and we believe that. Yeah. And that's fine, but don't base it on corporations and GDP. Base it on people. What does it cost to provide you with all your basic needs throughout your lifetime? That's what that money should be worth. Yeah. And then nobody's without. Every time a person's born, our money increases in value. And then people have their needs. And you have to figure out how to keep people motivated, how to keep incentives, and keep capitalism. Capitalism is important. Everybody's like, let's burn down the system. Shut the fuck up. Don't burn down the system, because then we have chaos. Let's just fix the system.
I feel like it's always at every rally or anything with signs. There's always one dude that's like, fucking burn it all down. He's like, okay, calm down, Steve.
Easy.
Steve just started the conversation. Steve's like, I gotta say that. I gotta go far right so we can work our way back. But it's always one who's like, man, fuck them all, kill them all. I'm like, oh, okay, we got his point of view. Now, who else want to speak?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's think about it.
That happens no matter what, abortion, marijuana, anything. Somebody's like, burn it all down. You're like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just means I can't handle this information.
Yeah.
But it's just
So
he just.
where's the erase button? Where's the delete button?
But also that I feel like that guy is important. The guy that's like fuck it, like the guy that's like
It's true.
The
Yeah.
guy that's like let's do nothing is important
Yeah.
for the conversation.
Yeah.
And the guy that's like man fuck everybody, burn everything down is also important for the conversation. I need we need to see what the ends are.
Yeah.
That guy creates the conversation.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's not. Let's just fix it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Let's-
I like
yeah.
what's I think it was John Stuart Mill. I'm gonna expose myself in a minute, but I took this philosophy class in like political science. But I think one of his thing was you can't have progress without discourse. Like you can't move forward without like aggressive like pretty much arguments and like confrontation and like you got some ideas, and both of y'all got good points on either side. But we got to find a medium. That's how we move forward.
Yeah.
Because eventually, once you two guys on the same page, there'll be another group that
Yeah.
want to oppose y'all, and then y'all have a conversation, and y'all can move forward. Like ideally, compromising and just moving forward is the way to go.
There's a lot of people that don't want to move forward too. That's another part of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate people talking about whenever a politician says, "I want to make America the country it was," or like anytime about going backwards, I'm like, I can't rock with this dude.
Yeah.
No.
I
'Cause it's
cannot
not
rock
the
with this
same.
dude.
Things change.
Even with
constantly.
technology, I'm like, you want to go back to Game Boy Advances? Like it just don't sound. No, none of it sound good to me. Don't nothing in the past sound amazing.
Can't even see what that is anymore.
You want to go back to cars that didn't have the side mirrors or like no seatbelts? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, that's crazy. Well, I think for me, even like, and I relate a lot of things to business, but the best business deal, right, is usually when both parties are slightly unhappy,
Yeah.
right? Because
Good point.
my goal going into the deal is to get the best deal I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other person's goal is counter to mine. So the way that we're both happy is we both make a compromise. We're both leave the deal unhappy, and therefore we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if one party is happy and the other is not, that wasn't a good deal.
Yeah. Somebody got a bad deal.
Somebody got coerced.
Yeah, no, I mean you gotta. Well, you've got to both be willing, and compromise means that you've got to be willing to move somewhat from your position, right? And so you were talking about outliers, like these guys that are extreme, burn it all down, kill them all, whatever. Like both sides have that. Democrat, Republican, we got crazy people in this world, and sometimes they wear a Democrat hat, sometimes they wear a Republican hat, sometimes
Facts.
they don't wear any hats.
Facts.
Right? So those people's voices are important, so we know what the outliers are. And outliers are just that. That's not the median. That we usually throw those things out at some point and go, okay, let's focus on the median, right? But it sets the area for the conversation. Like these are two extremes that we know can happen if we don't address the problem.
Exactly.
And these people are the same person.
Yeah,
They're the
possibly.
same person. They're the same person.
Exact same
That
person.
dude, the burn it all down dude could easily be the do nothing dude,
Oh,
and
100%.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Just something didn't match up in childhood.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, she's constantly getting on me about being like too neutral or too passive or whatever. And the thing is, I don't see it that way because she's very gung ho, like somebody's a pedophile or a rapist. Like she's very like I hate those things, but also I'm not like you got the people that and I love watching the people that'll go take that person down on the internet, be like you said this, you did that. I'm always just like get them out of here. I don't know what the process is for that.
Yeah.
I don't know who we call to get this person out of here, but get them out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do nothing myself because obvious reasons. Because that's not my field. But I'm like, I would love for every evil person to get locked up and
Well,
or
I think
killed.
eventually science will fix that too. I think with genetic engineering.
What's that damn Minority Report where they can let you know who want to do it before they do it?
Well, I think eventually they'll be able to look at people's genome and see if they have certain genes that will make them predisposed to that behavior, and just fix that gene.
Yeah.
Could be bad too. Could make us all compliant.
See, but the thing is, this is my thing. They will do that research and be like, oh, this person is more likely to do something bad. And the next step, like you said, will be fixing that gene, being like, just cut that shit out.
Yeah.
But it's always gonna be somebody being like, listen, that's too much money. There's too much money in research
Well, I
to
think
even
that
try and
stuff. I think that stuff will be free eventually, because once we reach a certain level of technology, it'll just be part of. We'll probably be part of technology. We may be technology now.
I grew up, literally, and this is gonna sound weird. Military bases are predominantly African American, right, when I was growing up.
Okay.
My father didn't go in as an officer. My father went in at 17 years old, got a permission slip signed. He went in the military. We lived on the bases, predominantly African-American. Obviously, I'm white, right?
Yeah.
When we moved off the base, right, we stepped up. We were living in mobile home parks, right? And we lived in different countries, lived everywhere. So I got used to growing up, and my mom hates this, but I would say very poor.
Yeah.
Right? One person working in my family. My mom, I have 3 brothers raising kids. Dad was working in the Army, right? Again, and even today, people in the Army are not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially coming in like that.
Yeah.
So I come from that, and I see it. And people without money fight. But I'm also in neighborhoods now with people that have more money than they'll ever use.
Right.
And they fight too. Right? Like, I think poverty is a lot, but poverty's not all.
Yeah, money's not gonna solve.
That's true. Yeah.
People got a lot of issues that just money just makes worse.
No, I mean, like, hey, if I don't like you and you're worth $10 million, it doesn't matter, right? If I could be worth $10 million, you're worth $10 million, I can still shoot you. Same difference if you're worth $10 and I'm worth $10 and we're in a corner, we're arguing, I can still shoot you.
You're less likely to, though.
Maybe.
No,
Wait, less likely to do what? If
as technology advances, as opportunities increase, violence decreases. So the more opportunities a society has, the less violent that society is. So if you look at neighborhoods in our country. Like, if you have wealthy neighborhoods, their crime rate is non-existent.
No,
if you look at a poor neighborhood, it's going to have extremely high crime rates.
Well, let's go back and look at that, though. What you're saying, though, is people commit crime because they have no money.
Well, they don't have any resources.
They don't have any resources, right?
Yeah.
But what I was talking about is the capacity to commit crime, which you were talking about was a gene we could get rid of. I, as a wealthy person, still have the capacity to commit crime because as a poor person, rather than die or starve or let my family starve, I would commit crime to feed my family. I still have that gene in me, even if I'm worth $100 million. I still have the capacity to commit crime, even though I may be less likely to do it.
Yeah, you have a lot to lose, too.
But see,
so I don't need the gene gone.
When you said that, I was thinking about that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Yeah.
Where I was like, this dude's worth.
Well, he was a psychopath. That's different. Those are outliers of all society.
But I was sitting there, I was saying, like, this dude got enough money to give people, like, I don't know how many thousands of people opportunities if he wanted to, but I'm like, he's just a monster. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, he's definitely an outlier, but I would argue that the more money you have, the more capacity you would have to do evil because you could like hire the best lawyers to cover it up.
Or good, yeah.
Or good.
Well, you know, there's going to be sociopaths for a different thing, and those are people that don't have empathy at all.
Zero.
They don't care.
Zero.
And yeah, I mean, a sociopath with a lot of money is a really dangerous person.
It's scary.
But they're very rare.
The thing is, my thing is the difference between rare and non-existent is big to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because like my friend was like, man, you gotta calm down. Like, what are the chances that you'll get pulled over and shot by the police? I'm like, listen, it might not be high. It might be. I mean, I don't know my number. It might be 18%. It's not
it's
zero.
Higher than it should be.
Yeah, it's not 0%. So I'm still like the same thing about getting struck by lightning. It's not 0%. It's still something I look out for.
Yeah.
I can't help it. So what scares me is that we have such a gap in wealth in this country, and that dude was that evil. He could have been a supervillain. He could have been a legitimate, build a cave, have a private army, supervillain dude. But he was just like a pedophile monster. But like that, my thing is like, just as far as regular life goes, I would never have even had a chance to oppose that man. I could have done nothing to him.
I think a lot of kings in the past, like especially brutal kings, were all sociopaths. And I think, but that's the good thing about having knowledge and technology is we can identify those people as a whole and prevent them from getting those powerful positions. That's why they're getting taken down because for most of that guy's life, he could get away with that shit. Nobody would know.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knew who he was.
And then he found people that was okay with it, like other adults that were
other
just
sociopaths.
Like, and that's I'm like.
Oh, I'd guess there's a fair amount of politicians that are sociopaths.
The internet's bad because it used to be, if you was like had like a weird dark fetish or you were evil or something, you just had to be that in your house just living life as a monster until you die. But now you can go on Google and be like, yo, I think I'm a monster. Like type in, you can type in, I think I'm a fucking monster, and go to a forum, like on Reddit, and they be like, yeah, we think we monsters too. And then y'all can meet up and like practice being like that's the worst part about this shit. Like you can practice being monsters together. Like we're bringing people together, but not always the best people.
Yeah.
Like somebody's like, I really hate black people. Somebody you go to a forum, like we hate them too. Come down to Chick-fil-A.
But the good thing is you know who they are now.
We'll meet up.
But the good thing is you know who they are now. That's why I don't like censorship in like YouTube or social media, because I want to see how people think.
Yeah.
If you're fucking crazy, I want to know it so I can
people
stay away from you.
Exposing themselves now.
Yeah, because they can't shut up anyway. So let them go. Let them say it.
Yeah.
And that way you identify those people. That's a good thing to me.
There's an old saying that says, "How do you catch a fish? It opens his mouth." Right? Because I grew up different, right? That's what I was told.
Yeah.
People are opening their mouths. And literally, I mean, like, people go out and rob somewhere and then post a picture of it.
For real.
Let them do it, yeah.
I mean, like what the somebody didn't teach you common sense. Like,
that's my problem with the comedy. Like, honestly, I was just talking to Micah. My whole problem with comedy, bro, was the whole, like, talking to, where I'm from, and, like, where I'm from, my family, you don't say much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't say much, you don't do much. You keep everything kind of played close to your chest. Yeah. So they were like, you got to post where you're going to be. And I'm like, I don't want niggas know where I'm going to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I truly don't want that. I want to go up, do the show. Whoever showed up, good for them. Yeah. But I'm not, as far as like letting people know my location and what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, that don't sit right with me. I don't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's been strange for me for this.
And
for acting, same thing. Like having to promote yourself is really strange. Yeah. To me, it's not a natural behavior because I'm a private person. I like to have my business.
If I was not talking to y'all right now, I'm at home on the computer. It's dark. Like, I'm truly. I got 2 pictures of my girlfriend on my Instagram. We've been together for like 6-7 years. Well, on and off. I was fucking around. I ain't shit. I truly ain't shit. She loved me and she's a great woman. But like, and she thinks it's because of her, and that because of her. I'm like, I don't want people. The same reason if I had kids, I don't want to put all my kids on the internet. I don't want people in my life like that. Like I don't know these people on the internet. I definitely don't trust these people on the internet. Right, I don't tag them where I am. Like you said, people crazy. Yeah. People crazy.
Well, a very small percentage of people, but that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like the video I just did for y'all, I ain't say where I was. I was like, we out here. I said, we out here. I don't like tagging where I am. I know people can't. Like, I'll tag where I am if I know anybody trying to get me, I can see them coming. Like, if I'm at the beach, anybody that's trying to get me or do something or whatever, I'm like, I would see you coming a mile away because I'm at the beach and shit. Yeah. But I just don't fuck with that stuff.
I post stuff after it's happened. So like,
love it. Yeah, man. 2-3 days after it happened.
Oh yeah, man. I'd be like, oh man, killing it out here on the water. And that was 3 days ago.
Love it.
Right? Hey, they come looking, they're in the wrong spot.
It might be paranoia, and maybe it is, but at the same time,
survival instinct.
Yeah, like if we were all like hunters, like cavemen type hunters, and we saw a group of other cavemen and they were over there like screaming and blowing their horn and like making whooping noises, I'm like, they about to get killed.
Yeah.
I set up smoke signals.
Somebody's gonna steal their cave.
I'm like, why are they so loud?
Yeah.
I really don't. It's weird. I like comedy. I like the whole thing about it. I like the act of it, but everything you gotta do behind it, you gotta just stay talking to people and I'm just going against my own nature. I hate it. I hated it, man.
That's why you're good at it too, though, is you're sharing your own experiences, your own point of view, and you're being vulnerable. And that's the hard thing to be vulnerable like that.
I mean, honestly, the vulnerability part wasn't that hard, to be honest. I was like, I know I'm definitely I'm not normal. The hardest part was just getting the jokes to work. The hardest part is just trying to be funny with the shit.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
I'm still trying to learn that.
I would go through like 6, 7, 8 months of just straight bombing. I know I'm doing it. I don't even care. But if I was going through like really bad depression at one point, like around like 20, 23, 24, 20. You know what I'm saying? Just like around that age, it was just really bad. Cause I wasn't going to therapy. I wasn't on medication. Nobody in my family had said nothing about depression before. Like it felt like my world was toppling in. Cause I was like, man, I feel like it was just happening to me. And also I felt like, yo, my whole family is good. Why am I not good? Type shit.
Right.
But it just got real bad for a moment. So I was still doing comedy, and I told myself maybe I can write about depression and make it funny. And just in my dumb, young brain, I was like, maybe if I write about it and get it out my system, it'll go away. So I spent like 8 months just doing straight depression jokes. They all not hitting. People are getting depressed. People are getting. I just didn't care. I'm like, listen, I know that this is gonna be something at the end.
Right.
And now I got about 15 on depression that I think is pretty fucking funny. But you got to go through just that long period of just fucking up. You just got to fuck up, and just eventually you'll get it right. It might not even be in the club. You might say some shit on the car ride from the club that's funny. You're like, okay, that's it. But I mean, you just gotta really gotta put yourself out there as far as the vulnerability part that's just gonna happen because you're on stage. But the part that people don't even care about, it seems like anymore, is like being funny, making the joke work, having your punchline land. Like I don't hear that a lot.
That's what
when people talk about comedy. They don't talk about setups and punches. They talk about my perspective as a person of this community and. As a person of color, as a person that's this, as a person that's, I'm like, this don't sound like comedy.
That's all great, but you've got to make it funny.
You can be that, but at the end of the day, you got to be funny. Like there's no other. We're not here. Listen, it's a beautiful thing that you're a person that's like Asian American trans person. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just off the top of my head. That's a beautiful thing. I support that. Do that. That's awesome.
Right.
That don't make you funny. And that doesn't mean I got to listen to you talk on a comedy show and not be funny. Like
I'm not going to laugh if it's not funny.
You could be that. You might not be a great comedian. You might be a great firefighter or a martial art. I don't know what you're good at. It's just not this.
Yeah.
But then people say, oh, because they don't think I'm funny. This is not a safe space. This is not, shit like that.
You got to put in the work. You got to learn the craft.
It's just about being funny. It's really just about being funny. And I know that every community isn't as good as one we had where, like, you could just get on stage easily and all this and all that.
It's great here, yeah.
But, I mean, I think we got it pretty good out here.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if people aren't laughing at you, you got to reconsider what.
No, you're right. Well, you got to go through all that time. The 8 months you said you bombed.
Yeah,
that was part of. That's part. You said. Oh, I think you said you've been a comedian 7 years.
Yeah, that was annually. I was bombed for 8 months every year. I was only hot for 4 months out of every year.
Yeah. So
and I would just book everything in 4 months.
Because you're just developing that material, right?
Now, but on some real shit, like if I had something I want to talk about, and I was like, I know, like. The last thing I was talking about that people were drawn back on, I've talked about suicide and genocide and death. I talked about that stuff for 20, 30 minutes. People were like, yo, you're prolific. I feel that. I'm with you. You talk about cheating or infidelity, people clam up quick as shit. That's the hardest topic I've ever talked about in my entire life. And that's what I was on before the coronavirus hit. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna make this shit work. I know I'll make it work. And I was getting somewhere, but like I was definitely bombing. Like if you see me talk about it, I was 100%. People weren't receiving it because everybody has cheated or been cheated on, and nobody want to relive that.
Yeah,
that's just a fact. You talk about cheating, you see couples start holding hands real tight. You see dudes looking at the ground. You see women giving me like I can't even do the face like the. They're doing like the I can't even do the posture, but it's like so what are you about to say about like they ready for me to fuck up. And I just lean into it. I'm like, listen, he feel bad, you angry, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk because y'all not the only ones. Y'all not the only one. And my thing is something's happening, why am I not talking about it?
Yeah.
If something's going on, unless it's beat to death, I'm trying to talk about things that when I bring it up, people go, ugh.
Real things.
If people don't go, ooh, I don't. I'm like, this shit. This is some bullshit. I don't even want to talk about it.
It's not important enough.
It's not important. It's not even important. It's just like it's something that, because those topics. And I'm trying to say this, but like those topics that make you go oof, are the topics that you think about truly the most when you're by yourself. Like if you see like police brutality, that's something you think about that makes you go oof. So when somebody says it out loud, it's kind of like confirming your fear type shit. It's kind of like you're going like, oh snap! I thought only I had these thoughts. I thought it's something I could deal with on my own time. But now he's making us deal with it right now in front of everybody. Oh, then you get nervous for yourself and for me.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I hope this works out for you.
But then you have to have a way to release that tension for them, like
Exactly.
make it funny. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that
Man,
that's the hard part.
I had a cheating joke. I'll say it now because that shit's fucking. I think it's the best fucking joke in the goddamn at the Arsenal. It was the whole. You heard it before. I read this article, and the writer said that cheating on your spouse is the worst thing you could do in a relationship. Like cheating on your spouse is hands down the worst thing you could do in a relationship. And I said the person that wrote this article never got punched in the face. The person that wrote this article never once got punched really hard in the eyeball. It never happened. It never happened.
You're right.
If I came home to my girl and I was like, hey, baby, how was your day? And she goes, wop, wop. And I'm like, oh, my God. This is the second worst thing you could have done to me. That's never gonna happen. I'm like, oh my God, I wish you were fucking somebody else right now. Thank God you're not fucking somebody else. And you just abusing me. Thank God.
Yeah.
We can get through this. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd much rather you fuck two guys. Don't hit me.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to cheat. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But I love that shit, man. That's the kind of shit I was talking about, bro. That shit, I'm like, and with that joke, it's weird. I'm trying to talk about how like cheating is bad, but also I'm talking about like domestic violence is worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is. I'm trying to put it into perspective for people so they wouldn't clam up the whole time. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
but that's the shit I like talking about. Shit that makes people go, "Oh God, come on, you just said that."
Uncomfortable
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Uncomfortable stuff. It's uncomfortable at first though.
Yeah,
Like if you say the word for real, my girlfriend and her friend were like they were talking about like that time of the month or whatever. I can't even say it. That's how I know I should be more advanced than that to be able to say period. But like. You say period or abortion.
I'm working on one of those right now.
I go, a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood. That's a lot. I don't know where nothing is. A lot of blood.
Yeah.
It just make me tense up. It just make me tense up.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch the Jeffrey Epstein thing. It was just hard to watch.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Terrible, yeah.
I could watch somebody get shot. I could watch somebody get beat. I mean, it's different. I'm desensitized to different shit. But like women's issues, I don't know what to call them, but like medical issues or women's issues or like pedophilia or like rape.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody should deal with that. I can deal with the cartel cutting off heads, but I can't deal with the time of the month. Like it's just
I can't deal with that either. Yeah, all that stuff's terrible. Yeah.
My granddad said, "Why don't you want to be a doctor?" I'm like, I hate blood. I was good at science. I hated blood more than any. I cut my finger. Anybody cut their finger around me, I'm done. I'm passing. I'm sweating. I cannot deal with any kind of blood whatsoever. I can watch it on TV, but like let's say he cut his finger right, like Jesse cut his finger right now and showed us, I'll be like, I pass out. I fall asleep in the chair. I can't. I just cannot deal with it.
I get it.
It's just certain things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting too. I think some people, maybe it's me, but I feel like cheating is common in society, but in certain settings you're not allowed to talk about it. Right? Domestic violence is common in society, but in certain settings you're not allowed to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And you're put in a situation where people are in the room with the people they're probably beating up or cheating on.
Yeah.
And that's why it's uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about it.
I've done anti. You know my gun joke, right? The samurai sword gun joke.
I've heard it once. Yeah, it's been a while though.
It's a goofy anti-gun joke, but it's like the joke is I'm anti-gun, but I'm pro-weapon. So put all the guns up, but grab a sword or an axe or a shovel, whatever you need to fight people. That's the biggest part of the joke. I've done that joke in Virginia for farmers, whatever the fucksville. I'm trying to think. I've done it for groups of people that I'm like, I know they're not gonna be down with this. And it worked. And that's how I test myself as a comedian. Like, I'm telling the joke for the opposite, like the crowd that is against this.
Yeah.
And it's still laughing.
That means it's a good joke. Though.
That's all I care about. That's all I care about certain things, like, you know, you want to maintain integrity, but like at the end of the day, I want you to be able to hear this joke and laugh because it's just that fucking funny and that well thought out and that well delivered. Like that's all I care about.
Yep.
Some people care about, like I said, as a person of this, as a person of this community, as a person, I'm like, it's 1,000 black dudes doing comedy. It's a bunch, and I thought I was the main one. Like, oh, what where they got chubby black guys that like anime and got crazy hair? Everywhere. California, they're everywhere. I'm not special.
Yeah.
So all I can really care about, if comedy comes back, all I can care about is just talking about the shit I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And just making the punchline fun. That's
well, if you're not
man.
talking about stuff you want to talk about and stuff that you care about, it's not going to be funny.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not going to be genuine.
And people always talk about the darkness in the world, and I get it, but I like talking about the shit I like. Like I like talking about Lord of the Rings and fucking Dragon Ball Z and food and like just I like shit. We're all about to die.
Yeah.
If you're not in the computer by 2030, you dead. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I don't want to spend my last 10 years being like, man, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this ain't fair, I hate that. My girlfriend makes amazing pork chop. I like that. I look forward to that. The PS5 coming out, I'm looking forward to that. I'm just saying, like, there's shit going on that I can get excited about before we all just die.
Life's short. Yeah.
For real, man.
Well, and like, I've never once went to a comedy special. I've for the most part of my life, I've been obese. I don't go to the comedy. And they're talking about fat people. Fat jokes are common, right? Mm-hmm. I don't once come out of there upset. Matter of fact, you say all kinds of things. I could go somewhere and have a black comedian telling me all the things wrong with white people. And if I think it's funny and I agree with it, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Yeah. Right? It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't go to a comedy club and get offended.
You're the right type of person for a comedy club, because now people they're like the offended police. Back when I
they need to go home.
They were like coming out there to make sure you won't say nothing inappropriate. They're like checking.
Yeah.
Especially
we need a sign when you walk in. If you are easily offended, do not enter.
Yeah. And I think it's weird. I'll have friends that run certain rooms, but like I know their room, and I'll be like, bro, I can't do it.
Like an alt room type.
Yeah,
thing.
I love Josh Rosenstein out there in Chapel Hill. He cool dude. I mean, we not best friends, nothing like that, but I mean, we both cool with each other and everything like that. And he'll book me on his room, and I'll talk to him. I'll be like, bro, I just don't think I should be out there, man, because every time I go out there, it's just crickets.
It's all virtues. It's a virtue signaling room.
It's not like I go other places and just pull my dick out and just say fuck off. I'm not going. You seen me before.
That could be funny though.
The shit I'm doing in Greensboro, the shit I'm doing in Wilmington.
Your comedy's actually pretty clean,
right? Yeah. I'm just talking crazy. I'm just straight up
silly,
talking absurd craziness. And for some reason, people they're spending a lot of their time trying to figure out, is he serious? And I'm like, of course not, because we're at the comedy show. Exactly, but they can't get over that hump of, is he serious? So they're looking at me the whole time like it's a TED Talk. When I'm talking about getting rid of guns and like replacing it with samurai swords, they're like, oh, this is a real plan. I'm like, shut.
Well, they're probably
you killing me right now.
Probably a gender studies major or something.
No, it's rough, man. That's the one thing I'll never miss about doing comedy. When you know the joke work. I know this is funny. I know I can deliver it. I just know everything about what I'm about to say, and you say it, and they just look at you like you did nothing.
Well, you've heard some of my stuff is like, kind of like, it can be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. But that's comedy.
But yeah, and I do it on purpose because I want to talk about it.
That's why you said it.
And I've had to rewrite some stuff so it was to make sure that people understand what my perspective is. But I'm not going to not say it. And it does pretty well in front of regular audiences too. So
that's
it has
regular audiences, but audiences that I don't know. I feel like they come out to see comedy to show that they support the arts, and also they're making sure that nobody's delivering hate speech. Like, they didn't come for a comedy show.
Yeah,
they came it was like their duty to come see it and make sure
you're woke or something.
Yeah, make sure I'm woke. I'm like, you can never, a white person can never be woker than any black person. I just got to say that right now. The least woke black person is woker than the wokest white person. Just off of being black.
Well, I think the whole woke thing is like not real.
Oh, 100%.
That's not reality.
But it's like being woke, but like we were talking about, it's just knowing the fact. It's just knowing what's going on.
Yeah, you talk to somebody that's in a really economically depressed community.
Yeah,
they work really hard. They have a blue collar job or whatever. That person give a shit about all the stuff that
Dude, you try to get some
college
old white
students
dude
talking about.
Some old white dude just worked a 12-hour shift at the steel mill, and he gets off work, and you're like, did you know everybody came from Africa? He's like, get the fuck out my fucking face.
He wants a beer.
I'm hot, my bones hurt, my kids don't leave me alone. Like, he's not a bad person. He just not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta feed all these people. Leave me alone.
Yeah. And that's most people.
Leave me alone.
Most people just have their thing that they do, and that's what they do. They don't understand anything outside of that.
That's right. Yeah. And I think, but part of this, people forget, though, we don't all want the same things.
Yeah.
Like, I've met people that have given away everything they had. Right?
Well,
Think about like minimalism. People that go, oh, we have too much stuff. I want to give everything away.
That. I don't get it, but I've seen it.
I don't get it either. But I have met people literally that have given away everything. Right? I've met people. We were in Asheville recently. Asheville's it feels very hippie.
It is.
Right? So I just was curious. There are a lot of people that are intentionally, I don't know the word homeless. They're like drifters. They do it on purpose. You had mentioned something.
Oh, like professional homeless people.
They're like, he called them professional homeless people, but they're not homeless. That's the lifestyle they're choosing to live, right? Yeah. That's how they think other people should live, right? So the problem becomes, how do you create a system where in society where everyone has the same outcome when everyone doesn't want the same outcome?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you want society to have the same outcome because I think people have different interests.
I agree. So, but what if we think the minimum floor is a 2,000 square foot house and this and this and this, but then you have people that say, I don't want any house.
Well, I don't think you have to.
I want.
What I think if the money is based on humans, on people instead of companies and stuff like that, I think that means they have access to those resources if they need them.
If they want them.
Yeah. If they want to
if somebody want to live in the woods.
If they want to live on the Appalachian Trail,
let
them do it.
Yeah.
You know?
But he should be able to like buy a biscuit.
But he could afford
back in the town.
But they could afford to buy a tent. If they want to go buy a tent, they could buy a tent. They've got the money.
But that person can't go based on that's the life they want to choose to live. They shouldn't be able to tell the other person.
No, they can't say you can't. You have to live the same way.
Yeah. So
that's not the way.
So
and that's why it needs to be a capitalist society, but just with a high floor.
Yeah, you need a high floor because I'll give you a real example. I know friends, and these are since I was 11. We've been friends. They grew up in the same communities. I would say with more opportunity than I had originally, and they've ended up very differently. But these are the same people. When I was working twilight shift at UPS at 17 from 10 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning, getting home, sleeping for 3 hours, waking up, taking my girl to school, going to RBC Centura, working part-time, getting out of there, going and picking her from school, dropping her off at her part-time job, trying to get a couple hours of sleep, and then occasionally having a third part-time job at work. I was doing all that. They were partying, they were doing all this stuff. Whatever little money they would get, they'd go out and get a tattoo. Like, I'm out here grinding for years.
Yeah.
And they were choosing different things, right? They're having fun. Oh, man, you're going to regret your life. You're going to look back on it. We've been doing all this stuff. Now you fast forward, and we're in two different places. And now they're like, oh, you're lucky, right? Like,
I hate that shit.
I should have what you have, right? What makes you so much different? Well, wait a second. You made a bunch of different choices over a long period of time. Yeah. And that's why you're where you are, right?
I'm not lucky because I got discipline.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, so part of it is like, you can't get rid of where people are at because some people have different motivations.
Yeah.
Some people don't think, they look at a big house as a burden and they would rather spend the money on their family, right?
Yeah.
And they, like my mother's a prime example of this. My mom will save everything she's got and spend it on all of her kids and her grandkids. And she does, if she can do an annual trip, she does it. She pays for everything. She goes broke every year on purpose. Right, everything she makes is all for them. She's like, I may not be here.
Yeah, my grandma the same way.
Yeah, so I don't dog it. That's fine. We all have different things, but we do have to get the floor up because you got to get the floor up. You can't get rid of all the different classes.
Well, you can't.
People have different goals, but you got to get rid of the base.
I think it's a mistake to create a ceiling because, ambition and incentive is what creates innovation.
Yeah,
people have to have, especially. I mean, even us, we're extremely ambitious, but we have to have some reward for what we're doing. There has to be some motivation to keep doing what.
Yeah,
because
like some kind of dream.
Yeah, and and even me, I live pretty conservatively. So I've always lived below my means.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Elon Musk, he's a good example. He's I guess downsizing his lifestyle. Like he's getting rid of
Do you
those
still
properties.
own the game shop on Spring Garden Street?
Yeah, me and Chris. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I found out you own that shit. That shit amazed the fuck out of me.
That's a fun business. That's not I haven't really made any money from that business, but I love it because
I'm glad because growing up, man, you could see card shops and game shops like literally everywhere. Like even my area had one. Like it was like 30 minutes out, but like we had like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering shop for a while, and it was just good to see one still up and running because they got nothing like that anymore. I mean, everything's online.
Everything's digital now, yeah. But it's cool to have that place where people can come and hang out and create that community, because we've had up to like 50, 60 guys in there before, or people in there before playing, Magic and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good to have.
That's
man.
cool. People love it. The customers love
that's
the space.
That's one thing I always miss about growing up is like because people want to be together. They want to have that community.
Yeah.
And now that we got the technology to like whatever community you want to get into, you can get into it. Everything's done online.
Well, that's part of what we're talking about. I mean, the whole country is a community.
Yeah.
That's why we should look after each other.
Yeah.
When you fix impoverished areas, you're actually investing in your community, into the country. Yeah.
It's on your land. It's part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people, like you said, they'll probably get their little chunk, get their $1 million house.
We have to find a way to make
nice
to value money on people, and not things.
Yeah.
And that would be good. Just like the people that are benefiting so much from the current system, but like I said, it's compromised. They'll have to budge from their position.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Have you what's the word?
Well, not really.
Gentrification.
Yeah.
You heard of this?
Yeah.
So I've got a friend that I went to school with. I'm not going to say his name. He probably doesn't watch this, but anyway, we were friends for a long time, and played sports together and stuff like that. We have our views are different. I don't think they're that different. He thinks they're vastly different. But so he was talking about investing in urban communities, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I love that idea, right? You go in, like where's the cheapest houses in the area? If you want to be in Greensboro, I can go in the hood and I can pick up more square foot for less money than anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
The moment I go do that and I go start rehabbing houses and upfitting them and then putting them back out in those neighborhoods, he says I'm contributing to gentrification and I'm ruining the community that I'm in. So we've also got this other side of it, like people are being shamed for trying to improve those areas, right? And some of that, and this is a real broad example, but that's one of the arguments he makes to me. He's like, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'm like, well, then who should?
The thing is, I mean, I guess ideally, if you ask this person to talk about gentrification, they'll say somebody from the community would do that. That would be their answer.
Right.
Now,
but nobody from their community is doing that.
And that's another thing.
And here's another thing. He has the opportunity to do it. He doesn't do it.
You got to get on his ass about that.
Yeah.
You got to get on his ass about that. But
he says, I worked my life to get out of that area. Why would I invest there? So you see what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying.
It's like well, okay, well, how do we solve the problem?
The definition that I go by is not even like you coming in and fixing everything up. It's you coming in and fixing everything up and then making it unlivable for black people. Like that's the thing, is like pushing black people out of communities.
And I would tell you it's a bad business move because, here's my thing. It doesn't matter how nice the house is.
Yeah.
The tenant will always reflect the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So a good example of this is I go put a mansion. I go into the hood. Go into Chicago, Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
Go where there's gun. I mean, literally, I bet you I can buy 500-unit apartment complexes for nothing. I buy one. I tear it down. I put a mansion there. It doesn't matter, and I put it up for rent. Who the fuck's gonna rent it?
Yeah, right.
The people that live in that community are my potential tenant.
Yeah.
That part is not going to change. Yeah. And I can assure you, white people might be thinking they're woke. They're not that woke. They're not going from suburbia to the hood to get a better deal. It's not going to happen. And that's a bad example, but I mean, it's...
No, see, I mean, you hear all the time, like somebody's like, we got to do this, we got to do that, but then they're in their personal life. I mean, how many actions are they taking to help minorities? Not just black people. How many actions are you taking to look out or help minorities at all?
Yeah.
And it's probably not a lot.
Well, true gentrification, too, is like in Charlotte's a good example. They're building a lot of condos and apartments, and they'll come into a primarily black neighborhood,
Yeah.
They'll buy all the properties, buy several blocks, and they'll build these big condominium. The big developers come in and build condominiums and apartments.
Yeah.
And then the people that lived in the neighborhood, they have to move somewhere else. They get pushed out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then the people that live in the condos are young, primarily white business people or students or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's real gentrification, I think. But it's still looking at the wrong problem. The problem is, why are people living in poverty?
Yeah.
And why can they not move to another place? And it's because our money is not based on people. It's based on businesses and corporations and GDP and all the wrong things. If our money was based on people, then Daniel and I are pretty successful people. And if we changed the value of our money and valued it on people, we wouldn't lose any money. We'd actually be worth more.
Yeah.
And the people in those areas would have the resources they need to live in a nicer environment. It'd probably be done through some kind of a trust system through your Social Security. So if you go to buy a house, then you have access to a certain amount of resources that would cover a certain percentage of a mortgage or maybe the whole mortgage, that type of thing. So, and then you'd have to have incentives set up for people that are capable, where they would have to work. You have to do something to be productive in society, and have an incentive set up where it's not like you just get it for free, but you get these credits easily. It's like if you get a job and you're making $10 an hour, well, based on the value of money, you'd actually be making maybe $25 an hour, and then you can have a normal life.
Yeah.
Have a good life, and it would go up from there. And then if you want to do, you can do the minimum or you can do the maximum.
But my friend, he's brought us up. He was like, "But what's going to stop Netflix from making your subscription like $100 a month?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
it wouldn't be that way. I mean, it wouldn't have to be, because more people would have Netflix.
Well, and what stops Netflix?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
What stops Netflix from doing that is the creation of new companies. So this is the other thing we get at.
Yeah.
Free market competition keeps that from happening, right? Because it keeps you in check. Your competition in business keeps you in check.
That's why you don't have monopolies.
Can't have monopolies.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's say that you're an awesome comedian, right? And I've never heard you live, but let's just assume, I'm just going to take on his word that you're an awesome comedian, okay? And you say, you know what, it's $100,000 in a show. Right? And there's comedians that are getting that and then some, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, hey, good for him. I'm going to go to the next guy. Right?
Yeah.
Your competition will keep you in check, and certain venues will pay you that, but I'm not a venue that can, and I'm going to provide other comedy solutions to my community, right? And I think in business, that's the way. Like, okay, I provide a specific service, but if I overprice my service, people start to get creative. Matter of fact, your customers will become your competition, because what will happen is they'll go, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I can do this for so much less money. I'll just do it myself. And then they become your own competition. Like, okay, hey, I'm going to mow your lawn. It's $1,000 every time I mow it. What? I'm going to go buy a mower for $300.
Come on, grass.
And I'm going to cut my own grass, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're charging $1,000. Man, I can do this. It takes me 45 minutes. I'll cut my neighbor's yard for $50.
That's a scary thought of how many times somebody that ran a business started their own downfall with a bad business model.
100%.
Because I had a dude, he tried to charge me like $700 to work on my computer or something like that. I looked everything up. The parts I needed were like $300, $400, and the rest he was going to charge like $300 in labor. I did that shit in like 15 minutes, and I was like,
most people can't do that though.
Yeah.
But I'm just,
but that's the example.
That's how you do it though.
That's the example.
Look at JCPenney's history. Look at Allstate. Allstate used to be founded out of Sears. It was the Allstate tire.
Oh shit!
They sold tire insurance. That's what Allstate was. Is an Allstate tire. Yeah. That's where that company came from. Right? So look at companies over the last 30 or 40 or 50 years that have disappeared that were giants. Sears Roebuck was a giant.
Yeah.
They're bankrupt and on the verge of bankrupt. And that was before COVID. Look at JCPenney.
I worked at Sears right before COVID. Listen, before eating at that competition for the Idiot Box or whatever.
Yeah.
They had this big competition. You win, you get $1,000. I was in the competition, but I ain't won no money. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, I'm hurting. So I took this job at Sears. They offered one for it was like $6 an hour plus commission. And I took the one as a mattress salesman that was like I think it was like $8 or $10 an hour plus commission. I'm getting away from the point, but the point is they hired me. They hired a full-time position salesman. I get in there. From the outside, Sears looks open. I think Sears is thriving. When I get inside, that shit is empty as fuck. They eventually changed me to $0 an hour, all commission. But I had to sell everything, mattresses, appliances, all that shit. Worst job I've ever had in my entire life. Cause I'm like, there is nothing to sell. You guys are going, but the thing is, they would gaslight me because I would talk to my manager and be like, "Are y'all going out of business?" Because it looks like y'all going out of business, and they'd be like, "No, we're just in the transitioning phase right now." I'm like, somebody's paying you to say that because you and this other guy are always together, always dressed nice, and not worried about your money. But the rest of us are freaking the fuck out. But I said that to say I only worked there for 2 weeks. I got paid nothing. I got paid no fucking money, and I just did it for because you got to have work history to get food stamps. And right before COVID hit, I got my food stamps. Right? That was the best worst job I ever had. And I'm sitting because full-time comedy. I'm like I'm making ends meet. I'm paying my rent. I'm paying my utilities and shit like that. But it's not. I'm not rich. I'm just doing what I love, and I'm making it work some kind of way.
Well, you're self-employed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that COVID shit happened, I was like, yo, I got it, because I was applying for it right before it got announced, and I got it like this. I got it the same day. They said but I was so lucky. The same day they shut everything down, I got my food stamps, and they can't take them away because we're in a crisis. I've been doing good after that. Like I was struggling like for like a month or so because I was like, man, I really gotta get this money coming in. But I got back on my feet and everything, and they still can't cancel the stamps. They can't let it go.
Do you have for comedy? Do you have an LLC set up?
Not for comedy.
You should set up an LLC for yourself as a comedian because you'll get more tax advantages too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you probably could have got PPP as a comedian since you were a professional comedian. Or you are a professional comedian, it's just you can't do anything right now.
See, it's weird when people say that because I didn't even think about myself as working full time until I looked back on like 5 months and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you work a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to a
Especially
9 to 5.
you count the time you spend writing.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to lie to y'all. I act like I write a lot, man. I talk to myself a lot. And
that's whatever your process is.
Yeah, I mean,
you spend a lot of time thinking and doing what you do.
I'm talking to you when things get back up and running. I got an LLC for the properties me and my brothers own in Virginia and back where I'm from in Morgan. But I don't have an LLC for comedy.
Yeah, you'd have to do a separate one just for your comedy.
Yeah.
Just like an actor.
It's a good idea.
How long would that take?
10 minutes?
Yeah. It will take 10 minutes to get set up if you know what you're doing, but it'll take probably right now 2 or 3 weeks to become fully active.
Yeah, they're behind right now on setting up
definitely.
new companies. But
yeah, but it's
what would that do? Like I'm an LLC for myself?
Yeah. And it would just allow you to have certain tax deductions, like you buy a laptop or
it's a business expense.
Paper you buy or anything. You travel, you write that off.
If you'd have stayed at Sears long enough, you'd have saw that as employers, my biggest expense are my employees and taxes.
Right.
As an employee, your biggest expense is taxes. They come off when you get your check, here's how much the government trusts you. You get your check is after tax. The government already takes their cut off the top. Right? That's how much the government trusts you. That's being an employee. Switching to a self-employed and having a corporation, having an LLC, all your money goes into the business. The business has an opportunity to spend money. Those are all expenses. A laptop, right? Pen, pad, paper, gas, fuel, food, right? You're going out to the club. You need to eat.
Yeah.
Right? All those write-offs come out first. Whatever's left in the account, that's what you pay taxes on. So self-employed people, if it's structured the right way, they run a business, they pay taxes on what's left.
Okay.
Right? It's just a switch in mentality.
And if you're doing good enough, you can put yourself on a salary.
That's right.
And then avoid self-employment tax, which
altogether,
is 15%.
Yeah, so what you really want to do is have a reasonable salary, which creates consistency, and you're going to contribute in the tax system. And then you can take distributions. And I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving you legal advice neither to you. But
right.
But then,
you said that before.
Yeah. But then you can take distributions. Let's say once a month or once a quarter, you want to take let's say you're on a $1,000 a week salary, and once a quarter you want to take a $10,000 distribution. That $10,000 distribution is tax free. You don't have to pay self-employment tax.
Well, it's not tax free.
You don't have to pay self-employment tax.
Right. Yeah. You'll have to pay taxes on that eventually. But.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so there's just some ways to. Why would you, as an employee, you say you stayed at Sears and you got a check for $500.
Yeah.
And you went out and bought the laptop. The government's already taken taxes out, and then you bought the laptop with what was left over. Instead, if you'd have had the money going to a business, let's say it was originally $800, you'd have taken the $800, bought the laptop, had $300 left over. You'd only pay taxes on the $300.
The laptop maybe you might have to depreciate the laptop.
Maybe, because it's technically an asset. But
Okay.
the basics of the thing are the same. It's
like your meals and your vehicle. You can have a vehicle that you write off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just want to utilize the business to help you navigate the tax system.
See, I was, like I said, like Neil said, I was just even thinking about it like that towards the end. I just didn't even realize how much I had been doing comedy until my mom sat me down and she was just like, you've been paying everything with your shows, and I always go back home and help with the properties. I work, like I said, cut down trees. I can do simplest shit. I'm not an electrician or a plumber, but I know how to do some of what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of carpentry though. But I sat down and realized I was like, the money I'm making from working back home was dwarfing in comparison to the money I was making at the clubs. Because at the club you make $500 a weekend. All you gotta do is talk for like maybe 30, 40 minutes. It doesn't compare to anything else I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I just didn't realize it until them last couple shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully when it gets back open, you'll jump right back into it. And
I'm thinking about it, man. It's shit that's so different. Like when I put everything into comedy, like from 21 to right now, 28. And it's just been everything. Well, my friends were partying and drinking and getting the jobs at the bank, and like I got some friends making 6 figures now just because their resume's good. They've been working hard. What I've been doing with comedy, they've been doing with. I got one friend. I know I'm lying, but he's like a forensic accountant. So like that's what he does, and he makes a bunch of money. So I sit back and I look at all that, and like that's what was important to me for them 7 years. But now that it's like. Imagine if we all were like working in the phone booth company. Like we all installing phone booths. We were all making $100,000 a year. Life was good. And in 1 week, they're like, no more phone booths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, this will come back we'll get some phone booths back in a month or so. We'll get back to work, and it just keeps on month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the?
Well, this will come back, man.
I know it will, but I need to come back I need to come back fast enough for me to make use of it. If comedy come back when I'm like 50, I'm like, who the fuck? Yeah. who cares?
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I'm old now. I would need to come back quick enough to where I'm like, all right, I can get out there and still talk about it.
It'll be back. It'll be back within a year, I'm sure.
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right, man. I'm taking your word for it. Listen, I didn't know it happened in the first place.
People, we figure things out.
Yeah.
I think we tried to just America our way through this. Like, just be resilient, be tough, not wear masks, and
we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Listen, if it wasn't for government regulation, every business would be back open right now.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm
That's true.
for that or against it. I'm just telling you, period.
It's what will happen.
It's what would happen. I mean, I haven't met a single person, not one. They may put the mask on, do the thing, right?
Yeah.
In front of people, but it's really funny to see all their life choices they're making. Right? Like to look. Like, they're wearing a mask, but they went to the beach. They went on vacation. Or they're in their community and they're grouping and they're talking, right? They're outside in whatever environment they feel safe.
Yeah.
They're doing things, right? Like, everybody has their level of what's acceptable and what's not. And it's not just what the government says you're allowed to do. That only works for so long.
Yeah.
The government says you're not allowed to commit crime, but people do that every day.
You got that right. I was legitimately following the government for the first like 4 or 5 weeks. I was in the house.
Yeah.
I was in the house, go out to the grocery store. I was doing all that stuff, and then I just kept watching like people not give a fuck, and I was like, I'm being safer than all of them. Let me dial it back a little bit. Start going outside or something. I see people at the beach talking about. They're like people on spring break. Like, I've been planning this trip for 2 months. I'm like, so
Yeah.
It don't. You got to kill your grandma. You got to kill your grandma because you got to go out to Myrtle Beach or whatever.
Don't go see your grandma.
Those kind of people don't give a fuck about their grandma.
They don't care. But, hey, let me ask you a question. You got kids yet or no?
No kids. No
All right.
kids.
If you had kids, this may mean more. My children have I have less chance of dying from coronavirus, COVID, than my children have of being kidnapped in America.
Good God.
There are more children kidnapped every year in America that go missing than the world deaths of coronavirus right now.
I didn't know that.
All right, but we're not walking around going, oh my God, my kids are about to be, we're not shutting everything down, right?
Yeah.
Right? But my children are more likely to be kidnapped today than I am at dying.
Where did that statistic come from, though?
Pull it up. Look at the world missing children in the United States
in
right
the U.S.
now. In the U.S.
I don't think it's that high.
Oh, it's very high.
Okay.
It's very high. We have to check this. And then the COVID deaths.
What's his name?
Kidnapped and missing children.
Jonathan Haidt just wrote a book about that called "The Coddling of the American People," and he talks about how we're overly protective of our kids because the kidnap rate is so low.
But it's so low because we're overly protective. You can't be just snatching my kid up.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
maybe that's what
it goes hand in hand. Like,
all right. Number of missing persons in 2019: 609,275 added to the list.
Well, missing persons, but is that?
I said missing, kidnapped, like.
Is that in the U.S.?
This is the U.S. only.
But that's missing persons, not kids, right?
No, I'm saying my children. Though missing people are predominantly children, but I'm saying as a rule of thumb, I'm more likely to. Okay, we'll change it then. I'm more likely to become a missing person than I am to die.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's 609,000 missing persons?
No, that was just last year.
Yeah, in a year?
That's more than the worldwide COVID
That's
deaths.
crazy.
Oh, yeah, people get kidnapped. I did not know about that. There's a video of this woman. Like,
That's a lot of people, man.
So you're telling me people are getting done less. I see the rates going up. But if you go all the way back to 2007, 814,000.
Yeah, it's going down, yeah.
We get more.
Yeah.
We need
it's
some
getting
more.
safer, but...
Somebody got to buy some
stock.
stock.
A lot of people, man.
Yeah, but we didn't change anything. We didn't hear about it. Matter of fact, you were sitting over here surprised. Are you sure it's that high? Like, yeah. Like,
hey.
But hey, let's shut down the government and everything because the average death of somebody with COVID is 82.
It's less than 1% of the people infected.
Like,
too.
I get it. We are protecting the elderly,
that's
but we're not
important.
worried about protecting the people that are disappearing.
We're
not worried about protecting the people that are obese. How about the people smoking cigarettes? Like we're gonna start banning
telling
everything.
people to work out and help your immune system.
HIV is a real thing. We're not forcing sex without a condom is not a crime.
I had a joke that said like,
hey,
I had a joke that was like, yo, AIDS is like MySpace because everybody talked about it at one point, but now nobody gives a fuck.
Well, it's so treatable now.
You know, like, but back in the day, everybody was like, when I was coming up, AIDS. And now everybody's like, man, people got AIDS, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, people got AIDS sometimes.
I'm not trying to be insensitive to people. I get it, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's if you look at the things killing Americans, there's a lot of things that are above COVID. A lot.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's our trajectory in comparison to other countries. That's what everybody's looking at.
Yeah.
Because other countries are being like, we're done. And we're like, we just getting started.
Well, it's all what we're focusing on.
True.
If we were focusing on missing children, we'd be like, oh my God. We got to, and missing people in general, we got to do something about this.
I feel like with that issue, I'm like, why? Like with those numbers, I'm like, somebody would just like heavily invested in security cameras. Or like he said, the chip, like your kid gets snatched, you got a little chip in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Locate him real quick.
And they do it for dogs.
And also, I'm like, there's a large number of people taking people.
Yeah.
If there's 609,000 people going missing, that's 609,000 people taking people. Like that's
or they want to volunteer.
Or they died or something.
And they're just not
dropped off the map somehow. Yeah.
But those, man, that's sad. That's a little less sad. I'm like, it was something that just kind of happened. But the idea that like somebody took you is terrifying.
I agree.
Yeah,
that is terrifying.
Yes. Over 600,000 people last year died related to obesity-related issues.
Yeah.
If you add heart-related issues, we're in the millions. Like, there's things killing people. A consequence of living is dying, period. Right?
Yeah.
It's as a human race, it's what's going to kill us.
Yeah.
COVID is just one more thing.
So fast food is probably more deadly than.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
COVID is one more thing. Like, hey, I didn't hear a single person shut the first thing down for the flu, and it killed 80,000 people last year.
America's the only country.
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago.
We're the only country, I think. And I could be wrong. We're the only country that has obesity and hunger as a problem at the exact same time.
That's funny.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
That is crazy.
You're right.
Yeah.
Man,
You're right.
we have enough vacant buildings to like fix the homelessness. We could get enough buildings put together like homeless just structures.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Somebody gonna take a loss on the money. The government might pay somebody, whatever. We have enough space to get people off the streets.
I agree with that.
If we have more. We would have more issues. But I'm thinking about stuff that could be solved in like a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can definitely. The house might not be nice, but it's a house.
Yeah.
And you off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now, I agree with you, but I've also met homeless people when I was in Colorado specifically that didn't want to be off the street.
I don't think the same thing.
As a matter of fact, one of them, I didn't believe him. And this is very rare. But one of them is a disabled vet. And he went straight over to the ATM, put his card in, and I mean, he had like $14,000 in his account. His money just goes in his account every month. He didn't use it.
Yeah.
He liked that lifestyle.
There's a lot of mental health issues in homeless.
I'm about to say, and also you get like people like that together.
That's not all homeless people.
Not
I'm just
all.
saying, yeah.
Not all, but it's just like
Yeah.
there's definitely issues and kinks you got to work out.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as far as getting bodies of if you do not want to be on the street, and you are homeless, we can get you somewhere. We can get you into a place.
I agree with that.
If you're too big, we can get you help to be less big. If you too small, we can get you some food. Like we have these are like the simple ones I got.
Yeah.
But like if it's like
tiny houses.
Yeah, we
Stuff
can
like that,
figure it out. I've seen people that got hella money
Yeah.
in a house smaller than this.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
This room right here.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we could definitely make something.
Hey, Neil's house is about like this room right here.
I was say, dude, you didn't have no tiny house.
I'm giving him a hard time. Well,
But well, let's end it on that, guys.
Okay.
Society is complicated.
It's complicated.
And Neil's house is small. Danielle, I'm trying to get him to get you a big
tiny,
one.
tiny house.
Itty bitty.
Itty bitty.
Yeah, man, this was fun though,
Fit in
man.
Daniel's bathroom.
It was. Oh yeah.
This was fun. You guys got to pop it in here, dude.
thanks, dude.
I ain't seen nothing like this.
We have to bring you back out for the second round.
Yeah, when things open back up, and
Hell yeah.
we'll have to come back and talk about that.
Oh yeah, dude. How many cameras y'all got? I got 1, 2,
Oh,
6,
Six or
7.
seven.
6 or
Yeah.
7. Yeah. And this,
Y'all are crazy. I got my webcam and my Blue Yeti microphone. That's what I got right now. But hell yeah, man, I appreciate you.
hey, it
Yeah,
gets
thanks,
it done
dude.
though.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, if you guys enjoyed the episode, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Later,
Bye, guys.
Love you.
Oh.